Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. It's good to see you and you and you and you. Welcome to our show. This is our entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we started some 26 weeks ago, like 180 episodes ago, I think every single night, if I'm calculating. Just a couple of nights we weren't on here and there for various reasons, family, events, things of that nature, but very, very limited. Most of the time, we are here for you to entertain you, put smiles on your face, inform, educate, knowledge building, inspiration, levity, as we call it here on the show. It's a unique show because it's just been growing by leaps and bounds. Guests come from around the world. We have an international audience of viewers, or we call them levities, who join us religiously and faithfully and loyally every single day as much as they can. And we realize you can't join us every single day. You have life to live, but then you get a chance to watch the re-airs and binge watch on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. So many of you tell me in private messages, if you don't get a chance to watch live, you'll watch on YouTube. We love that. Share that YouTube channel. Subscribe to it if you haven't at Jim Masters TV. And we hope everybody's doing well. It's crazy times we're living in, and they continue, but we're here to put smiles on your face, have a good time with lots of great entertainment, terrific, inspiring conversation. And sometimes we've gone on location. We're going to be doing a lot more of that during the holiday season. Very excited about some really cool things that are coming up with some special guests and some on location places that we're going to be visiting and taking you with us. But good to have you with us today. We toast all of you. Thanks for joining us for our usual camaraderie that we have here, our community that continues to grow. Nice to have you with us. We toast you and you and you and you, and we welcome you to the one and only Jim Masters Show Live. Hope everybody is doing well today. We've got an amazing guest who is a phenomenal actress, producer. She's also a professional fairy. Yes. We're going to show you and we're going to tell you what that is. It's really cool. And there's some special guests that are around her that are going to be joining us, I think, too. One is Dashiell. I'm not going to mention who Dashiell is yet. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We welcome you with style. We go Hollywood here. Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. Nice to see everybody here. Yes, all your friends are here, George Burns and Gilligan and all the rest of the gang. We will take a look at all of them a little bit later during the show. We want to welcome some of our amazing audience here. We thank you for making us a part of your day. It's a pleasure to have you here, and look at all these great, happy, smiley faces. We're very viewer-centric here on this show. Not all shows do this, but we like to bring in our viewers, our levities, and have conversations. Not just have you watch, though if you just watch and you never comment, there are people who just watch the show and they're entertained by it. You don't always have to comment. It doesn't require you to comment to watch our show. You can just sit back and enjoy and watch live, or you can watch it on our YouTube channel later on. But for those of you that do comment and like to be a part of the action, that's why we like to do the show live. So let's check in with our levities. Hello, Jim and levities. Here it is. Holland, have fun tonight. Willie, thank you very much. It's so good to see you. We welcome you. We also, if I can reach over here, there you go, Willie, for staying up late. Your tulips from Holland. We say thank you very much. We'll put them over here. I need longer arms. And we say hello to everybody that's watching on the various platforms tonight. Yes, even those watching on Twitch tonight as well. And Tess is here, our dear friend Tess LaBella. Hello, everyone. So happy to be here to celebrate another fun guest. Hope you've all had a great day. Hugs, Jim. Hug to you as well. A virtual hug to Tess. And Tess welcomes Brie. Now, I've already prepped our guest, Brie Henderson, that she's going to be bowled over with all the levity. Like you guys are really good at sharing the levity and welcoming the guests. So she's prepared, and she says, bring it on. She loves levity. Good to see you, Tess. Christine Clifton, greetings, Jim and all the lovelies. We welcome actress producer Brie Henderson to the show tonight. Good to see you, Christine. Willie in Holland says, hoi, Tess. Hello, Tess, as well. Willie, of course, in the Netherlands. And Wozniak says, hi, Jim and everyone. Hope this has been a terrific Thursday for all. She's watching on our YouTube channel. We love that. And it's been a great day, busy day. Nice to see everybody. Tesla Bella, Willie, hello, sweet lady. Everybody says hello to everybody too. Merlin is here from Innerkip, Ontario, Canada. We welcome you. And Merlin, we sang happy birthday to you last night. Yes, we sang happy birthday to you because your birthday, I believe, was over the weekend. So you have to re-watch the show from last night and you'll see towards the end, we sang you happy birthday. And we sang happy birthday to Bernadette Vidal, whose birthday was yesterday as well. So happy birthday once again, Merlin. We did a whole happy birthday for you last night. Mary Bishop, hi, Jim, and hi, everyone. Good to see her, Mary Bishop. Marsha Murphy Watson is here. Hi, guys. Good to see you as well. And Lovety Hall, Marsha. Kathy Short, happy Thursday, Jim, and all our Loveties from Cleveland, Ohio. And Marilyn says, good evening, Jim, and all our Loveties. Good to see you as well. Tesla Bella, highlight of my day. Wow. Can we print this one out and put it on the highway billboards maybe, or skywriting or something? Highlight of your day. Well, thank you very much, Tess. We appreciate that. Bernadette is still relishing from all the cake she had with her birthday yesterday and the dulcet tones of Jim Masters singing happy birthday personally to her. Good to see you, Bernadette. Happy birthday once again. Juanita from South Africa joining us once again. Love that picture of you and your beautiful daughter. That looks like a newer picture too. Really love it. Hello to you and everybody there in South Africa. Tulips. Willie's very happy. Tesla Bella. Love that. Sharon DeMaria, happy Thursday evening. Good to see you, Sharon, our dear friend. Love to have you here. Yes, we binge. I know you did. You and your husband did a whole weekend watching the Jim Masters show live, right? And toasts coming in from Mary and Willie and Sluncha from Bernadette, Bernadette's very happy about some of the guests we have coming up. Licorice tea. Is that what you're having? Or does it look like that's what I'm having? Pandas. Yes, remember Lin, our panda. Do you have a Christmas parade? Interesting question. Do we have a Christmas parade? I don't think we'll fit one here at the home studio. But I know that usually there are parades, but this year, who knows what's happening. Thanks for all these great comments. Tiffany is here from Chicago, the wonderful friend of mine, brilliant fiddler and violinist from Chicago. Good to see you, Tiffany. Kathleen Walker here from New York City. Hi, Jim. Hi, everyone. Hope all is well. Tiffany, last week we had some snow in Chicago, and this week sunny and 70s. Chalk it up to 2020, right? Incredibly crazy. Allison says, hope everyone's doing good. You too, Jim. Thank you very much, Allison. You too. And Merlin, you're very welcome. The birthday girl, Merlin in Canada. Thank you very much for the birthday song. My pleasure. This is Willie's 145th show she has watched consecutively. Bravo to Willie. You're very welcome, Bernadette. My pleasure. Christopher Joseph in Ohio, greeting all the Loveties. And we're going to greet our very special guest right now. We're so happy to hear that she is having a good day today and she loves life. And she also likes putting smiles on people's faces like I do. I think you've pretty much figured that out about me, huh? Special guest is actress, producer, and professional fairy. We'll talk about that in a minute. SB, the Every Fairy. Brie Henderson is joining us here on the show. Just want to show you some cool photos we have here. We also have a clip to show you a little bit later and much, much more. But you've probably seen, the photos. That's a great, great shot, isn't it? You probably saw some of these photos in our promotions on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That we're going to talk about this interesting story that she has, all tied into the work that she does. Absolutely. And I just want to tell you about her background just a little bit, because it really is extraordinary. She is a SAG-AFTRA actress and entertainer. She does stage, film, commercial, and voiceover, radio theater, does a radio show, does emceeing of live events, and things of that nature as well. Now, she's also a sufferer of ulcerative colitis. And as opposed to, staying in a suffering mode, she has actually produced 3 theater shows wrapped around that theme called Poo Positive, and using her own experiences and later the experiences of others in the form of comedic monologue. Well, Poops, I Did It Again was her first one-woman show that continues today. And after she took that around to other areas, and she realized how many people actually suffer from ulcerative colitis. So she's got a heartwarming story wrapped up in all the humor, which I think is really, really cool. And it inspires other people, because a lot of people suffer and hide in embarrassment all of the time, with the conditions that carry that stigma, and how excited they are to share their own stories without a fear of being judged. The Taming of the Pooh and 6 Degrees of Defecation were born using their stories, as well as a couple more Brie's own, and then actors gave them as monologues. And between all the shows, the age range, performers from 9 years old to 81, showing that everyone poops. Don't poop on my parade, right? When not being an entrepreneur or entrepreneur, Brie is also a professional fairy, SB, the Every Fairy. After studying improv at the Groundlings, she created this wacky fairy as a one-time silly video as a joke that caught on. So she started making daily videos that turned into bringing alive characters and becoming a local correspondent at events, being asked to host things, teach panels, and now live streams on Twitch. She is a goofball dingback character that exists on social media and in real life, and is simply about promoting positivity. That's why she's so welcome here at Levity Hall and the Jim Master Show Live. Now, during COVID, she runs errands and is out and about in public, living her fairy life, and can be seen on social media as well, simply trying to keep positive attitudes and a smile on people's faces. Some of her regular acting work has been, gigs here and there, but Brie has been lucky that she's at least been able to stay connected to the world, and she loves doing that. She always says, do the best that you can in life, and I agree with Brie. And it's my pleasure to welcome her live and direct from Kansas City, Missouri. There she is in the flesh.
Hello.
So is this SB the Every Fairy, or is this Brie Henderson? Who do we have here?
This is the human. This is Brie.
This is the human.
But I've got my poo pride on.
Yeah.
Represent.
Right. It's very, very cool. And I like the atmosphere and the lighting and the background and everything. Tell us about this. Not everybody, takes on a cause like this. I mean, ulcerative colitis isn't something that everybody talks about necessarily at the dinner table, but at the same time, you've been able to find a way to inspire people through humor as an actress, as a humorist, as a producer. Tell us about all that, Brie, and welcome to the show.
Thanks. Well, it came out of the blue. Ulcerative colitis, it doesn't just develop, it's all of a sudden, and you're going to the bathroom 20 times a day. Just bam. And I had to learn, once they diagnosed me, how to cope with that. And, it got worse and worse. Treatments weren't working. And I basically became incontinent. And I couldn't, it's and it's time to go. You didn't get to run to the, it's and now. And I mean, I've pooed pretty much any place you can imagine. So I kind of got to the point where it was either give up, and just not leave the house, and this is my life now, or laugh at it because it is funny.
Yeah.
Looking back and thinking of things, that's why I wrote the show. And so it was kind of my therapy. I would just write down story, every time something happened. And then I realized I had so many stories. I combined them into a one-woman show and added fun little bits and pieces. And I thought, this can either go really well or really crappy.
Yeah.
And it ended up, actually doing better than I ever thought. And I've been able to travel it. And, people have found me online and would message me. I'm so glad you did this. I don't feel like I can share this with people, and because, with bullying, it's people can't bully you if you already admit it. You know what I mean? If you embrace.
Right.
They can't be like, ha, you poop your pants. I'm like, yeah, I do. I wrote plays about it.
So it's about self-defecation or self-deprecation, or a combination of both?
Yes.
Combination of both in this case, I would imagine.
Yes. Well, people
You got to
need
lighten up. Yeah.
kind of exactly, and not take life so seriously, because out of the woodwork people were coming, like I got somebody new last night in my stream who'd never been there before,
See?
and they had Crohn's, which is
Yep.
similar,
Yeah.
and
Which are tough. They're tough to deal with. Yes. I had a friend at a radio station who actually was a producer, and it was tough for him because, there were times he had to be in that radio booth for a long time. And those commercial breaks were few and far between, but, he'd have to escape out quick, and that can be an issue. Definitely. Yeah, it can be. Was it something, when were you diagnosed? Early as a child?
no, and that's the thing. They say usually if you don't have it by the time you're 30, you're not going to get it. And I was
Mm,
like 27, almost 28. It's like, dang it. But
yeah.
yeah, they didn't know what was wrong with me at first. It took some tests. And then I, according to my doctor, am the most difficult case that he's ever come across.
Really?
I didn't respond to any of the treatments at all, and eventually they like wheeled me into the emergency room, and they were like, oh, okay, well, your colon is so filled with ulcers, it's going to explode, so we can take it out before it does that, and you'll have to live with a bag while you heal, and then we'll make you a super organ and reconnect you, or you will probably die.
Mm,
And so, it was like, death or, no colon. Death, yeah, just take it,
yeah. Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
didn't have time to think about it. It was literally, they were like, we need to.
Because you had an idea that there was things that were happening. You weren't feeling well, right? You just
Right. I mean, you
just
never feel well, but this
right.
was worse
Yeah.
than usual. And so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can sympathize. So where did you go before even that? Had you studied acting and all of that and being an entertainer before you turned this into the show and shedding the light on it, but also with humor? Will you tell us early on about some of your experiences, maybe as a child in school?
Yeah. Well, in elementary school, basically, when they did the plays, it was people who could read,
Yeah.
words
Yeah.
like,
That's a
out loud
plus. Yeah. The ones
and
that
not
couldn't.
cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've always read out loud from my books and stuff. Like just as a kid, I
The,
did,
w- the
and
ones who didn't read out loud or couldn't read, they usually were a tree on stage
exactly,
or a
exactly. No,
shrub or something. Yeah.
I was never the tree, but it didn't occur. I'm a Leo. I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah.
lie, but I'm not like awful. But I would always get cast in the lead, of whatever things were, and you know, I was going to be a dolphin trainer because I saw Free Willy. That was the plan in elementary school. And you had to be a good speaker. So
Hmm.
I was like, okay, this will work towards that. And then when I got to high school, I just, freshman year, I decided to audition for the play and see, and I got the lead as a freshman, my first play. And that, and then I realized it was like an epiphany. I was like, I think I'm good at this,
Hmm.
and I love
Right.
doing it. But I had never really, thought that was what I was gonna do, because it was something that came naturally to me. So it didn't seem like it was I don't know, a special skill. Like speech class never scared me. Doing presentations never scared me. Like that,
Right.
I was ready for that.
Yeah. Bring it on.
So
Yeah.
and then I transferred into doing commercials and dinner theater, and I found out all about auditioning. Like 15 years old, went into the repertory theater, signed up for like with the equity actors. Like
That's right. You
I,
went right in there.
I did. They were
Sign
very
me up.
nice though. They let me, but looking back, I'm like, I can't, like,
You
I
believe
didn't
that I
start
just went
small.
in and said, like Ethel Merman, here I am.
So yeah, and it's just, and I was gonna major in it. I started that way, but I was already getting work, and, and sometimes theater majors, they can be a bit pretentious. You know, I don't know if you've ever been in a class full of people who think they're amazing 100% of the time. Um, and so I just kind of was like, I'm already working as an actress, so I'm gonna major in psychology instead. And then I took a French class and ended up studying abroad in France. I don't know why. My teacher asked me to. And then I majored in French too. So
Wow. So you were really soaking up life and soaking up these opportunities to learn, right?
I say yes to everything is
Yeah.
kind of my motto. And honestly, majoring in psychology and even French, I, I think that's been more beneficial to acting than even,
Yeah.
acting training, you know?
Right, right. Exactly, right, exactly. I just want to show you some of the levity that's coming in here already from all around the world, from our lovities, our viewers. Welcome, Brie from Mary Bishop. Bernadette says, welcome, Brie, to Levity Hall. Kathleen Walker in New York City. Hello, Brie, and welcome. And Wozniak, welcome, Brie. Looking forward to this very special evening. Willie, who's in the Netherlands, where it's like after 1 a.m.
I was
Welcome,
gonna say
Brie.
something. On my stream, for whatever reason, I have so many followers from the Netherlands, and like I don't know why,
It's a
and it's
topic.
the middle of the night for
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, like 1 a.m. Welcome, Bree, to the Nice Gym Master Show, the best in the world. Thank you very much, Willie. We appreciate that. It's a real lovely. Welcome, Bree, to Lovely Hall from Merlin, who's watching in Canada, and Juanita in South Africa. Welcome to the show, Bree. All the lovely. Oh, yeah, there's a special friend who is with Bree, which
I
we'll
have a
show.
lot of special friends
Yeah.
with
When
me.
Dashiell, you're going to see Dashiell in just a second, and Dashiell looks dashing. Welcome, Brie Henderson. Christopher Joseph is in Ohio. Allison Tillman welcomes you as well with lots of smiles, and Willie gives hearts and Netherlands and U.S. Signs there. Sherry says, hello, Lovities from Ohio. And Kathy Short says, welcome, Brie, to the land of Lovities. We love that. Coolest place on the planet right here. Welcome, Brie. Delight to have you here. You are a Lovity now. See?
Yay!
I
Yay!
Why, that took only what, 20 minutes and you're a Lovity already.
I'm
Most people have to
glad.
work at least an hour to become the Lovity.
Well, I
They,
try to be friendly, and
they brought you in.
and I poop my pants, so you have to pity me a little.
Well, that will do it. She's in Maryland, is in Wichita, Kansas. And just so
Oh,
you,
you're not far. You're three
she's
hours
not
away.
far. Yes, and while we do this show, our friend here, Bree, is sipping on some wonderful sweet tea.
I am. That's
Yeah.
my treat of the day.
Yes, and beautiful fairy you got
Aw.
there, watching on YouTube. And welcome to Liberty Hall, Bree. We're so happy you are here. Marcia, that's from Sherry, and love the punctuation earrings from Marcia. And Allison asks, what are you thankful for? Wow,
Well,
probably a lot for.
easy. I'm alive. I take that colon out and I lived, you
See what
know?
Bernadette says. Her husband had something similar 8 years ago, and
And I bet he feels much better now because I woke up feeling much better.
yeah, took a load off. Yeah.
But
But yeah, that's my Irish humor slipping out. Christine Clifton says, welcome, Bree. Thanks for being with us tonight. You are now a Lovity. Christopher, and she's in North Carolina. Christopher in Ohio says, love the outfit. Bernadette says, I see a fur baby. And Kathleen Walker, pretty kitty cat. Yeah. So is the cat still there?
oh, they're all four are here. I have two cats, a dog, and a Dashiell.
And Dashiell, all surrounding you.
Yes.
So you were saying how you decided to put this together, this show and this whole idea. When you decided to do it, what was that process like? How did you know what to call it and what to include in it? And tell us about that, how you came up with the name, the various, because there's a couple of different productions, right? Tell us
Yes.
about
Well, the first one, "Poops, I Did It Again." My husband actually, because we were like the Britney Spears song came on. "Oops, I Did It Again," and he was like, "Poops, I did it again." Ha 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 ha. And this was before the show came into fruition. But I remembered it, and so that's how I got the first name. And the night that I decided to do a one woman show, it was on my bucket list, and I wanted to do one. And I had just gone to see Motown the musical, and in the audience, I had been trying to get out, and then Diana Ross's character came down into the audience, and the house lights came up. I could not escape,
it.
so I in the audience just let it go, let it go, and yeah.
We're not
So
saying that she belted out a song. That's not what we're saying.
yeah, it's like I pulled a Frozen and let it, and so like,
Hold her frozen. And we're not talking about popsicles in the freezer either.
yeah, and I mean, after the finally she goes
Yeah.
back on stage and the house lights go up. I just like had to run, but I mean, the
Was it
damage was
because
done.
did it happen? Was it that high note she hits that encouraged that? Because sometimes a high note can do it.
It was like, you're holding it so long, and finally your body's like, I'm sorry,
That's
man.
it.
Like,
That's it. All bets are off.
it's
This
like,
is it. We've gone far enough. I got you here, but the rest I can't speak for, right?
and
Yeah.
I mean, it was like epically awful. I won't. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
graphic, but I had tights
Right.
and a dress on. Okay.
Of course,
Um,
right?
so I had to like run to the restroom, which were downstairs. So of course it's like, boop, 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 boop. So by the time I get there, I had to basically like, throw the tights and everything away. I wanted to burn them, and like biohazard, But I didn't go back in. I was actually seeing the show with my mother-in-law and her friends. So I
And the
just
friend,
so it was me, my mother-in-law,
meet
and
my daughter-in-law.
I'm like my husband
Sounds
wasn't
like
even there.
that sounds like a sitcom, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, this story, like,
Yeah.
you couldn't make it up. And I just left, and I sent her a text and said I wasn't feeling well, and texted my husband, and he's like, well, now you have a great story for a one woman show, and I was
And
literally
welcome to
sitting
the
there.
family.
Yeah. And that night I just started putting together all the, because I kind of kept track in
Yeah.
a way,
You
and
were probably inspired by the craziness and the ludicrous nature of how this could actually happen, that you were filing it inside to say, this is so crazy. There has to be some story to this, right?
right, and I decided, that's also when I decided I'm gonna laugh at this, because I mean, it is horribly embarrassing. Think about it. You're sitting in the audience surrounded by people in the middle, like, it's embarrassing.
And of course,
But
that night, the governor was there, the mayor was there, and 4 priests and nuns were there.
that's pretty much how it felt, like, and so I just decided to laugh, and I've been laughing ever since, because I tell my stories out loud, and I'm like, if think about it, yeah, that is really funny, actually. I so,
Right.
and I never want pity. Like, some people be like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm not. I turned it into something good, and people come out and then share with me because they've never felt comfortable sharing with anyone else.
Hmm. Merlin
So
actually asks, do you have a special diet? I would imagine there's certain things that you have to watch, huh?
now, like before, was like incurable. So he said, just eat whatever you feel like, because you're going to be miserable no matter what. Now I just can't have like fresh fruits and vegetables. They have to be steamed, because
Mm,
since I don't have a colon, I can't break them down.
right,
So
right.
like I just can't have
So
fibrous.
the whole thing was removed?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I had a
Well,
cousin where that happened. They had to do that bypass. Yeah,
it's called a J pouch for me. So they
yeah.
basically took my small intestine and like stretched it out and reshaped it and made a little pouch and then hooked me back up. So
Right, right. So it's amazing what they can do, isn't it?
yes,
Those
I just call it my
doctors.
super organ.
Yeah, the doctors are absolutely amazing. So then with this process, what was it like to actually, you have the germ of the idea and now you want to turn it into a show,
Mhm.
something that people can, whether they have ulcerative colitis or not, can still appreciate it. And there's some levity and there's a story told. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, because I'd never done a one woman show, so I watched a lot of one person shows,
Yeah,
and I took
right.
notes like, what do I like and what bores me to tears, and I made sure to not do the things that bored me to tears, and I added things, and took things out, and I got a lot of opinions from people that wouldn't necessarily just be nice to me, because I don't want people to just be like, oh yeah, it's great. No, no, I want you to tell me. And I took feedback and I put it together, and I found out there was a play festival locally, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it, because if I don't do it, then I'm never gonna, you put it off forever. And I took a leap, and I won my venue that year. And then, yeah, I got so many food stories that I was like, well, the vagina monologues, I
Yeah,
so
right.
I did
And they were
like,
very successful.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of formatted the Taming of the Pooh and 6 Degrees of Defecation on. It's like a series of monologues, but they're all very diverse and very different. And I cast actors, but some people, they were good storytellers, and so I let them tell their own stories if they wanted to, because it wasn't about like acting. It's storytelling, and
Now, do
they're
they
real.
all have different issues, or some of the actors and performers don't? Do they, most of them have different things they're dealing with?
It was kind of a toss up. A lot of people actually auditioned for me because of the subject matter, and they told me, and other people. I mean, there's a stigma, with depression, with mental illness. Like everybody's going through some kind of poo, like
Mm.
metaphorical poo.
Oh yeah, especially
So
this year. The whole this
yeah,
whole this whole year could be cracked up to nothing but poo. Are you kidding me? And it still continues.
and that's
Yeah.
why it's relevant, because it's one of those things you don't want to talk about, but you need to talk about because it just builds up inside, and so I hoped that me just bearing my soul and telling you how it is would help.
Were you at all hesitant to do that in the beginning? Because it is so personal and you are really opening up about your life and you're revealing certain aspects of your life that maybe you didn't think you'd ever do or have to. I mean, you're very conversational and emotive, and you like to feed off the energy of people, kind of like I do. But this goes a little bit deeper than that. Was there any hesitation at all in the beginning to go in that direction? Or did you know, hey, let's just do it?
No, because once you have a conversation with someone, well, they have a camera up your bum and there's a TV screen showing you, and they're asking you how your day's been while inflating you with air.
Was that the sigmoidoscopy or the colonoscopy?
This was it's just the scope. It's not, it's just the so you're awake,
Oh,
for it.
which is,
And the
yeah,
doctor and nurses, and they're just talking to you, After that moment, I was like, yep, any modesty I might have had is gone. Uh,
yeah,
like,
that's it,
I,
right? Doesn't
I'm
matter how you
fine.
do your hair that day or anything. It's just, it's real bare facts.
It really is. I mean, like, I feel like after that, because they're just talking about your day. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
camera,
they're
like,
right. They're doing that, and it's so like they're talking about what they're gonna have for lunch in 20 minutes.
and then they'll be like, "Oh, look on the screen. Do you see? Oh, that's a big ulcer." And you're just like laying there, like,
It's like, I'm here, I'm still here, and I can hear you.
so it's like, yeah, I feel like when you get to that point, it really changed my perspective about what was important
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Because I mean, you know, I'm a girl, I'm an actress, I'm, insecurities, like I'm too fat, I'm not pretty, blah, 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 and that just kind of
Yeah.
after this.
Right, exactly. Right, absolutely,
So,
absolutely. Really, really fantastic. You're one tough fairy, Marcia
thanks.
says. So, and Sherry says you have a beautiful laugh, and
Thanks.
Bernadette says Brie is a warrior like many of us, and Mary says you have such a positive attitude. That's fantastic.
I'm very
Really, really great.
positive.
Mm.
I
Right,
have a million.
right, exactly, exactly. Let's talk a little bit about, some of the way again that you put it all together, and when people see the shows, what can they expect? Tell us a little bit about the actual show.
It's very intimate. We do it directly to the audience. Like I make eye contact with people. The other actors do too. I leave it up to them,
And
but
that's this one, right?
yeah, and Taming of the Pooh had people as well. This one was the last one I did, and we actually had like a
This was the
local.
other one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got like the local. He used to be an anchor man for like 20 years in my
A
town.
respected news journalist is now in a stall.
And he did and he told his own story,
And,
like
and instead of saying this just in, he said this just
this
out.
he called it a fart plus was his
Yeah.
that's what he called it.
Breaking news.
So it's like it was on, like I felt, honored
Yeah.
because someone with a
Oh, sure. Yeah.
reputation
With
was
a
willing to go and do this.
absolutely. So this show came first, right?
Yeah, so that was after my one woman show,
This
because
was
my
after.
one woman show did really well. Yeah. I still get, "Are you that poo girl?" Like,
So is this the one woman show here?
yes, that's the
Yeah,
one woman show.
yeah, yeah,
And I rather like, isn't that a good shot? Like,
yeah.
doesn't it just say it all? Like,
Very hopeful. Yes.
so it's like, and since that was more successful than I could ever have dreamed, and I had this influx of poo stories, I just I started compiling them, and then the next time, the same play festival, it was our fringe festival. I entered it, and we got third, like out of the
Wow.
whole festival. So like
And that's for the one woman show?
that was for the Taming of the Pooh.
Okay, so that's for the second. Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, you
and
got quite a group of actors too, a variety of people that were a part of it.
yes, yes, yes. In both of them, I had quite a variety of people, and
Yeah.
because it's a universal thing. And I say this, everyone has a poo story, and if they don't, just wait. Like
Oh,
it's like
there's time. If there's anybody that says they don't, they're lying.
yes,
That's not true. You know,
they're
when you're
lying
on
or
a road where there's no stops for miles, and you're on a rural road or a busy highway, and all of a
oh, I
sudden,
found a solution to
and
that.
it's 95 degrees out, uh,
Yeah.
that could be troublesome.
Well, by the time I was in
That
LA,
connects us all.
well, LA traffic, if you've driven in LA traffic, I
I
mean, there's
have.
no hope.
No, no,
There's
no.
no hope. Like if you have to go, yeah, no. So
Mm,
honestly, I bought a little like, bedpan, and I
sure.
put it in an opaque bag and I had wet wipes, and I started wearing dresses everywhere. And if you're in traffic and there's an emergency,
There you are.
and
I
I would look
tell.
at, like these people driving, listening to music, and I'm just like, guess what I'm doing, guys?
I was going to say, with all this divisiveness and fighting and nonsense going on, we all bleed red and we all blank.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? It's sort of is very centering too to bring it all together in such a funny way. Tesla Bella says, "So funny, Brie, you are so adorable." Merlin in Canada asks, "Do we all have fairies?"
I hope so. That's my whimsy is my word for
Yeah.
my fairy. I want to bring more whimsy into the world because so many people they just have lost whimsy.
Yeah, everybody's so serious and angry and upset, and it's so much nonsense out there, and I even have to shut it off too. And I work in broadcasting too, but even I'm like, okay, enough. It's just everybody just calm down, relax, and let's just come together, and let's just
That's
because there's so much chaos. But I want to show a clip, a philosophy for your life.
oh
Let's
yeah.
tell us about that. And then we have some special guests that are around her.
Oh yes.
Dashiell is one of them, and a few others that she's going to show us too. But so don't go anywhere, folks. But tell us about a philosophy for your life, the clip we're going to show.
I just randomly think of stuff throughout the day, and I always have wings and a wig with me wherever I am. And if I think of something, I record it and throw it out there. This
All
came
right.
to me, I don't know why, but I think it makes sense.
I like that. I think it makes sense. You will decide. Here it is.
Hey guys, SB here. So, I have been doing some life philosophizing, and I have some advice for you. Well, more of a motto. Okay, so you know how people are like, your life's a dumpster fire, right? That's actually a compliment. Okay, so hear me out. You're not a towering inferno, because that means you're like up in flames and they're gonna demolish you and like, build like, I don't know, a used car lot on you or whatever, and you're done. But a dumpster fire, it's contained and it burns up all the nasty, dirty garbage, and then it's clean and you can start over again, right? So it's actually a compliment to you to be called a dumpster fire. However, if anybody calls you a landfill, that's like super rude, because think about it. It's all this trash and garbage, and it's just accumulated, and then people try and dress it up and make it pretty, but no matter what you do, it's always gonna be garbage on the inside forever. So I guess what I'm saying is dumpster fire life is good and landfill life bad.
True, right.
I don't script anything, and I have rules. And when people do videos with me, we all follow the same rules. And when I'm by myself, I follow them. I use the first take, a minute or less. That one might have been a little bit longer because I did it special, but like minute or less, first take. Even if they screw up and they're giggling, whatever, it makes it even better, and it's all improv. We
And
might have an idea of what we're doing, but there's
yeah,
like point A and point B, but how we get there.
right, exactly, exactly. You want to show us, you want to introduce us to Dashiell and some of the
Oh,
other
sure.
cast
Yes,
of characters that
there.
you have there?
I'll pan. I'll do a slow pan because
Yeah, we'll give you we'll do a
all
full
right,
screen
all
and
right. You didn't see
you can introduce.
Remington, Remington. So that's Remy. He's like, I hate you. Um, this is Tucker. Hi, Tucker. And then we have. I'll save Dashiell for last, but Daisy. Daisy. Hi, Daisy. That's Tucker's sister. They're bottle fed. They're 14. You wouldn't believe it. And then, Dashiell. Dash.
Do I see
So,
a
yes.
do I see a live pig?
He is alive, I swear. He's just sleeping. He was playing a lot today, so he has a rough life. I'm sure you can tell.
Does he know he's being seen worldwide right now?
Well, the
This
lights
is
came
his
on and
big
he came
moment.
in. But yeah, he just wraps around me on the couch, and when I live stream and everything, like
And
I'm
here you
always.
work so hard to not show the blinds, and there are the blinds.
I know.
You're like, I don't want to show the blinds. I want to put up the lighting. And then there's the.
My life is a dumpster fire, so there's no point in hiding it.
This segment brought to you by Home Depot, where you can find those blinds on sale.
And it's like, well,
So,
we've been looking for houses, but the area we live in, they're trying to make it nice. Like, keep
yeah.
it a little ghetto, but they raise the prices and,
Look, you got
so.
love coming from South Africa. You got pig emojis and the nose and the hearts from Juanita. I knew they would fall in love with Dashiell, your pig. How old is Dashiell?
He's a year and a half. He's a rescue pig.
Oh, really? A rescue pig,
Yeah.
really? Actually, I've heard of that. I've heard of it. We had a guest on a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot where the place was, where there is a farm where they actually, you can rescue them. We love animals, food, and little ones. I told you, see?
Yes,
Mentioned
me too.
food, kids, or animals, and you've got this crowd, that's for sure. So now you saw Dashiell, and this is her cast of characters. We have ours. Did you say Remington was the
Yes,
first?
he's
His
the dog.
attitude, according to Merlin, is "Leave me alone, woman." He did have that sort of look.
He's really pretty and he knows it, but he's very fickle.
Bernadette says, or actor Piggy says, "Hi." That's her teen. Love you, big kind heart. Isn't that great? And Kathy Short says, "That's a lovely family you have."
They're my fur babies.
That's it. Any of them act and perform?
Well, I mean, Dash is in a lot of my fairy videos, so well, and the cats are and dog are too. Like I just made them into characters.
Absolutely. We've got love from Anne and cute and way to go from Allison and love the fairy from Juanita, and Tess says how sweet they are. Really, really, but again, all of this that you do is really for a positive reason and a positive, you get people who have responded in a really positive way to your work, right?
Yeah.
Who are going through things in life that might not even be ulcerative colitis, which again isn't something we all talk about. But again, when it comes to health and wellness, it's good to talk, because then sometimes you find out somebody else is struggling with something maybe totally different. And then you've got a relationship and a friendship, and you can confide in each other and, talk about your fears and struggles and worries, but make people laugh and sort of deal with it, which you've done so beautifully.
I try. That's my goal. I mean, my ultimate goal eventually is to open my own theater and only do comedies. Now, they don't have to be, they can be original works, they can be puppet shows, whatever, that just has to be positive. the only
That's what it's
criteria.
all about. So tell us about SB, the Every Fairy, because there's Brie Henderson, the professional actress and producer, and then there's SB, the professional fairy, the Every Fairy. What is
Yes.
an Every Fairy? And tell us about SB, the Every Fairy.
Well, like I said, it was a joke at first because I didn't know about cosplaying. I didn't know what it was. And I went to Comic-Con, my friend had an extra ticket, and I saw these like women sitting there looking bored and kind of like, you know, anyway. So, and I was like, so they just sit there and people pay them money and they sign these pictures and they're like, yeah, they're professional cosplayers. They dress up, as characters. And I was like, do they act? Do they do? And they're like, not really. They just dress up and take pictures and people like them. And I'm like, and they looked so bored. They looked like they didn't want to be there. And I'm like, you ungrateful, like I'm just in my brain. I'm like, you should be happy. So what if you have to sit there? Be nice to these people, because they weren't even like acknowledging their fans. So I did a little video as this ditzy fairy, and I now go by SB because she's become popular. But Slutterbell, um, Slutterbell was her name, is her name. And because I was kind of, tongue in cheek making fun of these ungrateful, like, like they didn't try. And I turned her into this just dingbat character.
Are you blushing?
Oh, well, I don't want people to judge, because I found a way after it took off to make Slutterbell work, and I turned it into an anti-bullying thing. And somebody even wrote me a short play that we performed. But
Which is really nice, anti-bullying, because that's really important right now.
well, I said that her name was Denise Bell. Her parents were going through a human phase when they named her. And in high school, the mean girls, they saw her in gym class changing, and her shirt got stuck on her wing. They took a picture of her, and then they started calling her Slutterbell, and she was devastated. And then she decided, you know what? Slutterbell sounds more like a fairy name than Denise anyway. So she started going by that to embrace it, and so they couldn't bully her anymore.
I like, good idea,
And
right?
I came up with that on the fly because I was doing a video and somebody asked me, and I remember my rule: one take, all improv.
Yeah, it's the best, when it's one take, because sometimes if you overthink it and you keep, then you try to perfect it and make it, perfect, and it loses some of its freshness and its vibe, and just the anything can happen, anything goes feel, which is why, and I've talked about it on this show oftentimes, one of the reasons why I love live television, live radio, live stage, live shows, live. Not that I don't do things that are pre-recorded and teleprompter and scripted, but I really love live because I think it brings out like that.
You're genuine.
You're genuine, you're authentic, and there's the excitement of being live. Anything can happen, and you got to put it together, and sometimes things go crazy technically when things are live. And I've been on television where sets fell down behind me and lights burst and somebody fell on the floor. My co-host farted once and I couldn't, and it was, on a professional shoot, and there's no way I couldn't laugh, though I ended up laughing. We stopped tape, and actually we were live and nobody can figure out why I was laughing. We were live on television, and that person, when they were tossing back and forth between me and that other person, and the other person was actually vice president of a department of the network and was on co-hosting. And then when they were done with their piece, sort of walked off. And I saw them walking off, from the corner of my eye as I'm looking at the studio cameras, and there were people behind me too on set. And I heard the sound, and it was I'm doing my thing, talking professionally about whatever. And then all of a sudden there was just no way, because I kept hearing that sound from the vice president of whatever department, and as they walked away, the thing that happened too is that, the person walked away from the corner of my eye. And not only did they make that, they got off camera just in time, didn't think anybody heard it. I did, and a couple people behind me, they were giggling or whatever, but I was the one on camera. And then he was to eventually come back and say his bit. And not only did he sort of, the thing that made it funny was the sound, of course, but the way he did it. He's very thin and very skinny and had long slacks on. And I could see at the corner of my eye, thinking, again, the vice president of this particular network, walking off, and he was sort of skipping. And then he just lifted up once, and that sound. I was like, wait a
And
minute.
you can't really
Vice
hide it,
presidents of that department and who's going to be back on in a second. So the camera guys in the studio knew, because they had audio on, so they heard that sound. And they knew so they were playing with the tally light, the red light on top of the camera, turning it on and off, turning it on purpose. And it was a riot. We had a ball, and we got through everything we had to get through, but the levity sort of lightened up the evening, and phone calls it was actually a situation where people were calling in too on supporting a show. And it was fantastic because the phones rang off the hook, and it was such a successful night because all of a sudden things became light.
Yeah,
lighter.
He's a person. He's a person.
It was hilarious.
Really,
I have it on tape too. It was a long time ago on television, but I will never forget that story. And the thing is, he does to this day. He doesn't know I know. I never told him. He doesn't know I know. But other people said, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, yeah.
That wasn't a couch or anything. Like,
it wasn't a chair sliding. Right.
It's like, well, and I said, I have no sense of modesty. So
Merlin wants to see. They always like to see the set.
It's a tapestry.
Let's show us your room and where you are, and I'll make it widescreen.
It's a unicorn with its tongue out, like kind of. It's mirrored weird on my camera, but it's a quaint and cozy little cottage, aka a small shack. So like I have my fairy wings up over there, kind of. But yeah, this is the living room. These are my ring lights, and they change colors. And because
for you, they're wing lights, aren't they? Wing lights.
Yes. Well, hey, if I ever, run for a political office, politics, just winging it.
Yeah. That's right.
Hey, come on. You wouldn't put a sign in your yard that's like just winging it.
Just winging it. That's right. On a wing and a prayer.
Yes. I have so many fairy and like poo puns that I came up with, like, oh man.
Did you say poupons or coupons?
Coupons.
Yeah.
Like, well, I can't say all of them, but like,
yeah, I see you're editing right now.
I am, because we came up with some good ones. We came up with some really good ones, And,
you're gonna make Willie and Holland blush.
Well, the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King.
Oh yeah.
Because we had a story, one of the monologues. It was during that movie that they had an incident, so that's what we called the piece. Like,
look at Bernadette says she's on track. She's going for it. Always be yourself, unless you could be a unicorn.
I have a shirt that says that.
Cassandra Bain, who's a dear friend, Lady Bain, she's an amazing R&B artist, sensation. Oh, awesome. She's loving it as well. And wah, Jim. I'd like to hear Juanita say that in her South African accent.
Oh, I love it.
I would get serious giggles if you're live on TV and your co-host made that sound.
I think I would be like on Home Shopping Network at 3 a.m. I think I would be a terrific host personally. Like selling the really weird stuff and having.
What would you sell? What would you sell?
I mean, that's when all the weird things come on.
Sort of like these widgets and these things that are just this little thing. We're going to give you this little cap, and this little cap. You can screw it in. You can put stuff in it. You can rest your thumb in it if your thumb is sore. I mean, there's the things you can do. And if you order right now, we will give you two of them. But you got to call in the next 7 minutes. We have the black. We've sold out of the white. The red is gone. The pink is gone. But we do have an aqua blue. We've got about 4,500 left. And they're going fast. And free shipping if you call in the next 9 seconds. Free shipping. 9 seconds. Call us now.
I will ship it personally right to you.
I actually hosted and produced a successful shopping show on air for several years, where I was the host. I was the producer. I got all the inventory, and we offered. It was different because it was on radio. It was on actually iHeartRadio too. and did it for a long time. And people would call in and they'd buy things over the phone. And usually they would be hotel getaways, restaurants, hair salons, car washes, all tickets to theaters and shows at a discount price, like half off, 80% off, way before GroupCon and Living Social and all those came along. And it was really quite popular and all. So I did. So I understand that whole sort of, and we have it available right now in your choice of color. The amazing thing that you can do with this, I mean, you can make it a little sippy cup for an infant. I mean, 1,000 uses.
Because I have, especially now that I've did the Groundlings, it'll either crush your soul or it will break you down and then build you up, and then you will become like the phoenix, you know?
Yes.
I'm serious. Improv is, if you want to test yourself, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a big, yeah. Now, this shot is fabulous.
Thank you.
Holy cow.
I took that myself. Like, on the cat right here.
You actually look like a Latin singer from Argentina or something in this shot. You look very,
I think I just gotten my hair cut that day.
That's like a, I don't know, a CD cover or something.
Dang. Well, PixArt is my editing thing that I use.
You did this yourself?
Yeah.
But somebody did you have a professional photographer take this?
Legitimately
you put the phone up and just clicked it, and yeah, it looks like the cover of an album from somebody who might be in Argentina, or it's got it looks a little Latin, very beautiful. Nice.
I played with it. I did not wake up like that. I'm perfectly upfront, you know, like now.
That's a cool shot too.
Thanks. And same thing. I just like, to me, it's art.
Yeah, it is. The photography.
If I'm ever on the cover of Vogue, then you know what? Photoshop me to death. That is totally fine. I mean, I'll be like, I don't look like this normally, but I'm going to enjoy it for this cover. So, you know.
Well, nobody on Instagram really looks like what they post on Instagram. I mean, Instagram is like the haven for people who have photos that have been altered, doctored, and
but at least I admit to it. Like I will.
Oh, that's
like,
yeah.
You know, I'm like this. You know,
they're loving these photos. We'll have to watch one. It's probably the cut and color.
Thanks.
That's the hair you have now, right?
Yeah, it's temporary. Because every time I have it bleached, so it's
so that you can wash that out, or
it fades out after like 2 to 4 weeks. And so I just got it done not too long ago, but I get a temporary on top, and then it fades to blonde. So I'll be pink sometimes, and lavender and blue.
Yeah,
and,
however you feel. Danilo in San Diego, California says, wow, gorgeous.
Thanks.
Cassandra, Lady Bain says, beautiful. Kathy Short, I'm loving that haircut and color. Anne loves the earrings, look like a leaf. Is one a question mark and one an exclamation point?
Yeah, because I ask a lot of questions enthusiastically.
Violet eyes.
Yeah, today I do. I have a lot of, so I found out it's cheaper to order these colored contacts in my prescription than clear ones. And since I'm a fairy anyway, it works.
Merlin thinks she takes horrible photos, but I think her profile photo looks terrific.
It's all about the angle and the light. I mean,
the angle and the light. Exactly. You know, those earrings, we're going to take a close look at those. Those are cool. So one day you feel like an exclamation point, the next day, question mark.
Well, I do ask a lot of questions because I don't hide if I don't know something. And I ask them enthusiastically, and I'm generally an enthusiastic person, I feel like. So, you won't see like an ellipses because I just keep babbling. So there wouldn't be a pause. That's why I'd be a good, host, because I can just.
So how do you transition from Brie to SB the Every Fairy? How does that, or do they ever blend, and do they ever battle each other?
No, they don't battle each other. Brie's the manager, so she's kind of in charge. But
the bookkeeper.
Yes, and SB is more. She just lets things go, and she asks a lot of questions, and like. The way she does it, I do promos for people like local businesses and do fun little things. You do
PFP? Publish for people. Not PPE or PPP.
No.
She does PFP.
Exactly. And
Promote
not PCP. I don't eat people's faces. Like, no, that's not, no.
No.
But like I do, like local businesses, just to give them a boost, and I'll ask. That's how I do it. I ask silly questions so that they can explain it, and
Like, what would be an example of a? No, you ask it as the fairy or the Brie?
I always,
As
do
SB,
fairy
the every. No.
So like we promote or I promote like shows and local events. So the play The Seagull was going on, and I got to play, I went and talked to the actors and people, and I was like, so I watched this show and there weren't, like, I was expecting birds, and you guys like what's the point of this title? And I would just blindside them with these ridiculous questions, but it opens them up to be able to talk about what the show's about, blah, blah, like, and I just kind of would ask leading silly questions. And I live like my borough, my neighborhood is called Waldo.
You're in a borough.
Well, I was like, it's Kansas City, but like the section is Waldo.
Yeah.
And so I did a video one time, and I was like, so this Waldo guy, like, he has all these books, and we're always looking for him. But I feel
where's
like
Waldo? Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, and I feel like if he's our representative, we should be able to find him and not have to search all the time. I mean, do you agree with me?
Right. And where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Right.
Have they ever found?
Well, and sometimes I do
They're
it.
still looking for Jimmy Hoffa too.
I know, so many mysteries. But sometimes I do it so, like, I do it very not seriously, but
yeah, off the cuff, witty, dry, sort of quick-witted,
satirical. Yes, people think I'm serious. Like, and somebody
because
actually
it's the tone of the voice and the way, right? And they sort of, rope you in, and you rope them in, and they buy it.
I've been on Reddit 3 times, fails, like Reddit fails.
Reddit fail. So what do you have to do to get on a Reddit fail?
Somebody clips, a portion of what I'm saying and posts it up there, like from my live stream.
They've never heard of copyright.
I actually think it's hysterical. Like,
cool when they do it.
And it makes me feel good.
It's kind of like being on Saturday Night Live when they do a character of you. It's actually, I mean, not everybody likes it, but the ones that do, it makes sense because the Q score goes way up as a result.
Because I do it believably. Like, one of the best compliments I got was that SB is relentlessly dim.
Well, I got a better one for you. Karen says, "I love the color of your lipstick."
Oh, yeah,
see?
I even have it. It's glitter. It's actually like glitter in a tube. It's amazing. I have it in like every color. But it's that lime crime, and it's like it stays on like lacquer, like paint. So
now, if you applied it to your lips, we would get 5 million views, because isn't that what they do on Instagram? Everybody does lipstick application.
See, I'm a model. Like, don't you think they should hire me as their spokesperson?
There's a tornado right now. Tornado alert. This is having a tornado outside in the borough.
Like,
have you ever been in a tornado or experienced one?
It's so funny. They happen all around me. Like, the one will drop down 20 miles away. Never. And I'm not going to the basement until I see a funnel cloud, because the pig, I mean.
Oh my God. Yeah. How would you do that?
So I'll just stand at the door and just be like, I hear the sirens. I don't see a cloud yet. No.
Yeah. Must be the fairy dust you have all around sort of keeps you guys protected.
Yes. But
So,
they happen all the time.
Yeah, unbelievable. They're asking for the brand again.
Lime crime.
Lime crime.
Yeah, and their slogan is "Makeup for Unicorns," and they're a vegan company, so it will spoil. I'm not even kidding. If you don't use it in like 6 months, it'll like spoil.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't realize that that's what it means, but if you get vegan makeup, it'll go bad.
Never even knew there was vegan makeup, huh?
I didn't either, but I liked the stuff, so.
That is funny. So, obviously we have all this craziness that's going on with this crazy year. Were you in the midst of some big projects and everybody I've been talking to, they've been in the midst of so many big projects and things that they were doing in their lives. Not even necessarily a performer, just people had things. I actually interviewed somebody in my professional world on the radio today, and she was talking about how she's a life coach, and she was talking about how many people were really looking at this year of 2020 as being, because it's 2020, so it's sort of like the start of fresh, big plans, really cool, new decade, new all of this, plus the 2-0, all these big things. And how about for you? Were there a lot of things that were in the pipeline for Brie and for SB, the Every Fairy, that sort of, and you had to adapt quickly, like everybody has, we all have?
I mean, like, if it ever happens again, then I'm good to go. But I was slated to go to Edinburgh Fringe in Scotland with my play.
Scotland, huh?
Yeah, it was the original Fringe Festival, and it's huge. It's like it takes over Edinburgh for the whole month of August.
They want to know if the lipstick is flavored.
No, this one isn't, but some of the others they have a bunch of stuff. Like, it's amazing. But yeah, I lost that. I mean, and being SAG, like doing commercials and stuff, there just aren't. And I've done one since all of this with the mask thing.
What were some of the commercials that you've done that maybe people would possibly see you in? Or were they more localized, or have you done national work?
Both, and regional, and so I did a MasterCard one for the World Series when the Royals were in it.
Oh,
I did
yeah.
George Brett. I was the concession person, but they literally dressed me as a boy because he said, like, I heard him. He was like, her smile is taking away. Like, he didn't say it in so many words, but it was just like, and I overheard, and I was like, oh. So I was right next to him, so I tried to smile less and dress as a boy. And then I did this the Head and Shoulders one for the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and I'm wacky when I audition, and it was for mobile weddings.
Oh, really?
They were picking people, and they needed 3 couples. And when we auditioned, it was all improv, and we had to say vows. And I just made up. I was like, I will promise to learn how to use an iron and learn that the board is, it's not just an extra table. Like, but I'm dead serious, like saying it, and I kissed him.
The board is not a place for craft services.
Exactly. And so they had the 2 normal couples, and then they were like, can we make you like trailer park with a short wedding dress in a tire parking lot and a pregnant belly? And I'm like, yes. Yes, you can. So I'm like, everybody else is in these like gorgeous wedding dresses. I'm in this like short wedding dress with like it doesn't fit, with this pregnancy belly and like this fake ponytail sprouting out, and like but it was so fun, and I like playing the goofy stuff. I never get cast. I'm not a real person. They always say real people, not actors, in all the audition notices.
Yeah.
I'm not a real person. Even when I go as a real person, I'm never a real person. So.
I would imagine kids probably, gravitate to you as well. Children, don't they? Because there's children who like, fairies, and they like fun, and they like humor, and you have a warmth to you as well that I think is really cool, that people, I'm sure, are drawn to. And there's a lot of kids that also suffer from various ailments and illnesses and things. And you're providing sort of a sense of comfort and ease for them, that it's okay. And look, you can laugh and still live a full life, right? Children must really gravitate again towards you.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason I've started calling myself SB, because, most of the time after they hear the anti-bullying, the parents, like, they hear it, it makes sense, but like one of my actresses, the 9-year-old, it was her that inspired the last installment of shows, the 6 Degrees of Defecation, because she overheard me talking about something, and she's like, "You're a grown-up and you poop your pants?" And I was like, "Well, yes, I do." And she started crying, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, and she had a condition too, and she had, at school a couple of times, and she was so embarrassed, and like, it was just this horrible thing to her, and just to have a grown up, and she was in this play with me. We were in a play together, and she actually played me younger. So, she's like, "Can I write you a story?" And I said, "Absolutely." And she's like, will you do another play?" And by that point I was like, well, all right. So I just sort of started collecting stuff, and she did her own story.
Mm,
Like,
very cool, huh? That's very cool. What are some of the things that people have said to you as a result of your work, Brie? As whether Brie Henderson or as the fairy. Um, Tell us about some of the types of things you've heard from people.
well,
It must really move your heart, I'm sure.
it does, because the compliments I get aren't normally like what people would think of as a compliment. Like,
Sure.
one time I hosted an event as the fairy, you know, but I, ding batty, but getting the point across. And he came up to me at the end and he's like, you know what? I really thought that you were just dumb at first. He's like, I thought you were just one of the dumbest people. And I was like, well, and he's like, but he's like, as the show went on, he's like, you really kept it on track and kept it going. And I realized that you're actually really smart. And you have to be smart to play dumb. And I take that to
Actually,
heart.
some of the greatest comedians and actors that have been goofy are actually more serious in person, but they know how to play. A perfect example of that is Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball was a very, very serious person, a serious actress, businesswoman, all those. They say Desi was a little bit more, funnier on the spot, where Lucy, even though she played all those incredible characters as Lucy and all, she was much more of a trained actress who can play funny, not necessarily inherently just off the cuff funny. Her daughter, Lucy Arnaz, is hilariously funny. She's just witty and funny and can respond and observe life and respond with these quick whips or witty quips, that is, quick whips. She responds with quick whips. No, that's a different show. Another Freudian slip. That's how Lovity started. Quick whips. Well, the humor's so fast, she whips you over. Yeah, witty quips. I should have said witty instead of wit.
No, I started.
Where Lucille Ball was much more serious, but given a great script, and she always paid homage to the writers on I Love Lucy and to Desi and to Vivian Vance and William Frawley and the crew. That they all made the show along with her, and she knew how to play funny, but wasn't necessarily. But I think your combination, you're inherently funny too.
I hope so. Like, those people that do open mic night, and it's just the whole time you're like, you hurt for them because you're like,
it's like they're bombing.
Yeah, and they don't know it, and they just keep digging their own grave, like, and it's that hurts me inside. Like, so I'm always like, gosh, I hope I hope I'm actually funny, like,
Yeah.
I'd want somebody to be like, no, you're horrible. But
well, have you thought of stand-up comedy at all?
I accidentally did an open mic night one night
in Kansas City,
because I was covering it live for the radio show that I host, and I was like on, I was there, and she called me up because I guess she thought, that I was gonna do a bit. So I was like, and I was the fairy, by the way,
Of course.
And I used one of my stories from my one-woman show, one of my poo stories. Because I was standing there, we were, corresponding with the radio, and I just handed the camera to the guy, and I had on platform boots, and I just sort of like stumbled onto the stage and grabbed the mic because I was like falling. I was like, hi, I'm SB the Ever Fairy, and I pooped myself at Motown the Musical. Like, those were just, that's what I said.
And they said, tell us more.
There's like a really long pause. Yeah. And then they all started laughing. I was like, oh, please. That pause, you're just like, it's either going to go over or it's not. And then I just told the story.
Was that a pregnant pause? Or?
Yeah. But you could see just their looks on their faces. They were like, there's a fairy that just stumbled onto the stage and said she pooped her pants. And you can just see their brains like trying to,
like yeah. Because a fairy, you think of Tinkerbell. You think of sort of lighthearted flair. Like, fairies don't do these things.
That's why I'm the every fairy, like the everyman. I'm like everybody else.
Yes.
I'm just a fairy. I've been fairy shamed by other fairies.
Have you? What do you mean? There's competition in that world?
Apparently. because like I said, I cover things and I do videos different places. So I went to the Renaissance Festival, but I'm an urban fairy, like, like glitter and holographic and, all that stuff. And they're like nature and, only
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
found in trees. And
Yeah.
it was like
Dragonflies and yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and they have to stay in character, you know?
Sure.
And it was like the mean girl, like a clique of mean girls, and they're just like, you don't observe fairy culture. And I'm like, fairy culture? I was like, what?
And this is what you told them, right?
Yeah, I was like, no, I
Relax.
want to be friends. I was like, I live in a house. You don't have to live in a tree. Like I was doing videos. I was like, I have air conditioning. So I was nice, but I was like kind of.
How about this? Bernadette's cutting to the chase. As they sang in Shrek, let your freak flag fly.
I do.
Isn't that funny?
I actually see that quite a bit.
Karen
And
says, and Karen is in Canada as
you
well.
haven't even seen my wings.
Karen is New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Karen. You are a very beautiful fairy.
Thanks.
Lots of levity here on our show. They will embrace you. Brie, I love your positivity and sense of humor. We need more people like you. She's watching on YouTube. And anybody watching on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe to our channel, Gym Masters TV. Share the levity. We'd really appreciate that. Subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the episodes of our series. All 26 weeks, 180 episodes are there. Whew, I can't believe.
I live stream every night unless I have, something.
Yeah. Shrek the musical, of course.
Yeah.
Shrek is not a word that you want to foul up on air live. That's right. Karen is from beautiful Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. Cool. Very cool. So what have you been working on lately during all of this crazy time?
Well, once again, I can't give up. Like I do have depression like everybody, and I get depressed because I don't know when I'm going to be able to be out in the world again.
I've actually interviewed a lot of people on this show and some of my professional work lately who are people who engage with the energy of others. They're very communal, they're very social, and or even if they're not, even if they're introverts, they can be an introvert, but what they get during the time that they're being extroverted fills them to get through life. And they're not even having really that opportunity. The online they like, but still all of them have said, see, I'm used to it being, television, radio. I'm used to the technology. I'm used to being in studios or on location, having cameras in front. Sort of, it was maybe a slightly easier transition, although I'm still doing my professional work. It was slightly easier transition to create something like this, though I still love, television studios, radio studios, and stage and on location. But for a lot of folks I've been talking to, they've been saying that like they've had enough now or something, like they want to get back out there. They want to be amongst people. They want to hug. They want to laugh. They want to break bread. They want to pour the wine at a table. They want to hear the roar of the crowd and all of that too, and see the smiles, not just as names or
just a chat or
the digital technical feeling to all of that doesn't exist necessarily when you're doing it with people in front of you. So you're feeling a little of that as well. Some have said anxiety, depression. They've mentioned some of that.
It's natural, and I'm not ashamed of it because when am I going to be able to be out in the world again? I'm lucky that I had been streaming before all this started. So I already had kind of a little family, because we're just a bunch of misfits. And so that's just grown. But it's still, it's like, we have it like, I don't know. Do you know what Discord is? Do you have a Discord?
Sure. Yeah,
so
sure. Yeah.
I have a Discord for the stream, and, the ones that want to be in it, everybody's so supportive, and sometimes we video chat with each other, like when I'm not streaming. Like I'm willing to do that. They private message me and ask me like poo questions, all kinds of stuff, just random, and it's not.
Have you ever had a show that went down the drain? Write that down.
I try to be. I actually do write stuff like that. I have like. But I just try to
Your head is
there.
a ongoing tape recorder, right?
Yes, well, yeah, I have a lot of them. But I try to just be there for people and try to make them smile. And the only nights I don't stream is when I'm feeling particularly negative myself,
Mm,
because
mm.
it's not that I don't feel comfortable sharing, it's that I know everybody else has issues and problems, and I don't
Right.
want to seem like I'm
Especially now, the world, there's a lot of hurt out there, and we've talked about it, and we're trying to put inspiration, positivity, some fun, and
That's why I run
information
errands
building.
with wings and everything.
Right,
I
exactly.
legit I have driving wings. They're small. They
Mm,
fit in, and I just, you
yeah,
know,
right,
and I
right.
just run my errands. I don't try and draw attention. I dress, well, what's normal for me, like,
Hmm.
and I just
And
run.
even during all this, did you cut your own hair, or were you able to go to a salon and have it done?
I did cut my own. I finally got
'Cause
it
I
colored.
haven't had anything done since March. Even the salon, and it's kind of cool. I like it. It's the longest I've had it in a long time. Usually it's shorter like that
Yeah,
guy there.
I noticed. I was like, whoa.
And yeah, and I'm just letting it go for now, and I'm loving it. And even to the point where the salon has called twice and say, "Everything okay?"
You
I,
alive? Well, my mom was a cosmetologist when I was growing up, so I learned early. I was wearing makeup at the time I was like 9. Like, I mean, like, I haven't seen my natural hair color since I was 11.
yeah, soon. So what
Like,
do you think? Should I leave it? You like it longer? Should just leave it? Yeah.
I think it looks. I mean, you know what? Have you seen all the hosts on shows? All of their hair is
None of them
like
have had their hair cut. No, no. They've actually been able to just let it do its thing.
full
Yeah.
of frozen and let it go. See, there's your new like.
That's right. That's right. Exactly.
But yeah, I used to watch my mom, and she'd cut her own hair like by feel, and I do that now. Like, I don't know if it's genetic, but I can just cut it,
You
and
just cut it and it works out all right.
yeah.
A couple of great comments coming in here. Let's see. Karen in Nova Scotia. We love Nova Scotia. The pandemic is very hard on singers and all performers, of course, who are used to being on stage. Bernadette says, all of us theater people are missing live theater. Our theater has been doing drive-in cabarets only, masked and socially distanced. And Karen says, Jim's show is a positive force. I look forward to each evening. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Tess says, Jim, you hit the point so perfect. I miss everyone and so much of life outside of our home. Karen says, Jim, leave it. We love it. Oh, the longer hair. Okay.
It does look good. I'd tell you if it looked bad. I'm one of those people. I'm like, you have something in your teeth, or your tag sticking up. Like, I would want to be told. So
Why, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, you have
everybody
the
be nice.
right to feel down. You have the right to feel down. Like it's okay. I mean, especially if you're somebody that cares about people. Sometimes I bet you're somebody who takes on the worries of the world.
I
Like when
do.
you hear there's a family member or a friend or something's happening to somebody else, you take that on. I do. The reason why
I like to do
I
it
identify that because I identify it with you. Probably do that.
because I mean it takes your mind off of your own problems, and you can focus on someone else
Helping them.
too. Yes,
Helping
and
them.
that's my addiction. That's my, it's not drinking or drugs or shopping or gambling. It's, I want to make you happy. Like, so.
Is it therapy for you as well?
It is. It
Like a
is.
form of therapy for a lot of performers. It is a form of therapy for them. And I've interviewed psychiatrists, psychologists, again, motivational coaches, executive leadership coaches, life coaches, and I'll ask in my professional work as well. And I've asked some of them, like, I bet some of what you do in providing coaching and consulting and therapy for others comes back tenfold to you. You're getting therapy for yourself as you're helping other people. I think we all do in our certain way, right?
Mhm. And like for me, I did major in psychology. I could get,
Oh, see, right.
I could be a
So you get the
professional
human
counselor. And,
condition.
yeah, exactly. And I call it like not in like a mystical way, but an empath. Like, I genuinely pick up on like I like almost like the vibes. I'm
I
not saying
get
like,
that vibe with you.
like if somebody you can just feel it, or if you're in a crowd. Sometimes I
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
like crowds because
Right.
it's
Right.
like I can almost feel it's like panic, because I feel like And
So yeah, I had a friend who had an issue with crowds. Like if we go to a ball game at a stadium, he had an issue if he would go into a shopping mall that was crowded around holiday time. He would feel sort of tight, and he had to come out
it's
of
a
it. The reason why,
visual, like,
yeah,
yeah.
the reason why I understand what you're talking about with the empath is because I've had that conversation with a number of people who have said the same thing. They sort of deduced it with me without me even realizing it myself. And I'm sure you've had, they said, Jim, you are what they call a high level empath. You're
Mhm.
intuitive and you operate from a higher consciousness. So you're seeing things more, not seeing things more clearly, but you feel things and you
Because
see
you
color more,
literally,
you color more vividly, and you hear instruments and music more deeply, and you just things are heightened for you. When the sun is setting into the ocean, you stop and you notice it every single time that it does it. Driving over the same bridge, you'll always look over at what that view is, even though you've seen the view 1,000 times. Just really a certain, you're aware of all the sentences, the senses and
yes.
the senses being heightened.
I kind of, that's what goes with my saying yes to the, like, the universe. I'm not, once again, not trying to be cosmic, but
No,
it's,
but there's
if you
truth to
notice
it.
the signs, like, and maybe it won't pan out right now, but you'll do something and 10 years later, you'll run into that person, and all of a sudden, like, so I just always say yes, and I, go on these little paths, and I don't know where I'm going to be from day to day.
Right, exactly. That's kind of, so how do you find structure? How do you create structure? Because sometimes the world demands some structure, right?
I I have outlines and guidelines. But like I tried following the rules in acting and what you're supposed to do when you audition and all that stuff, and that never worked for me. So like I don't do open calls. I don't do stuff like that anymore. I'll find out. I hunt them down. Who's in charge? Who's doing this? I send a quick email. Hey, this is me. I'm interested in this role. Can I have 3 minutes of your time? If you hate me, that's fine. But if not, may I read for you? And you know what? Nobody's ever turned me down. I just ask, and I'm polite, and I get to the point. Like,
Right,
and
right.
that, people don't learn. Like, that's another thing. People don't think to just ask for what they want. Like, I'm not asking for a handout. I'm just asking for a chance. You know,
Exactly.
and
We're
3 minutes, is it really going to waste that much of your time?
right, exactly. What Bernadette says is very true. My sister's very similar too.
Hmm.
That is very true because you're feeling
That's like
everybody
open mic nights.
you're
That's what
feeling
they
everybody
kill me.
else's pain. You're feeling like what everything that's going on now and this year, like you're feeling it and you're trying to do what you can. Like early on during all this pandemic and all this, we rolled up our sleeves. I do a lot of charity work too, MC a lot of charity events, do a lot
Yeah,
of
me too. Yeah.
yeah, and I love doing that to help charities and all, and done it for years. But we group of us got together before we had to sort of lock down and everything, which unfortunately we're going back in that direction now. Things pulling back because of everything rising, but we got canned goods and we got things together and we brought it to shelters and we brought it to places that people that didn't have food to do whatever we can to participate because we felt helpless. We felt like, gee, people are struggling, people are hurting. How can we, provide some sense of relief and help, at least food on the table and whatever? And because it can happen to any of us and our loved ones at a moment's notice.
Well, I
Anything,
lost all of my steady work, everything. I mean,
everything shut, stopped,
my
closed.
backup gig was I helped plan events and host events at an event space, along with my acting and my LLC for my ferry that I had to create because, like, so like literally everything I'm qualified for. And I can't lift over 10 pounds because of my no colon. So I can't even work like retail or anything, like
Right.
it's been awful. And so I get gigs from, time to time and residuals from time to time. But it's like,
Now, is your husband in any of this line of work at all, or
no,
seems
we are
he
opposites
has a
attract.
structured situation?
He's a chemist, very left brain. His job has not gone away. So, he's
No, no.
He's very stable, and he's the logical one, and I'm the like, let's adopt a pig, like. But
And then
it's good to me.
does he run the, and when you say that, does he run the numbers?
Yeah, and well, he was very against the pig at first, like, but I convinced him to go visit, and
Once you named him Dashiell, I mean, that was it. Sold.
he is I mean, I know where I stand. If there's a fire, the pig's getting out first.
The pig is first. Yeah, the pig is first.
It's like if we're both like passed out, he's like, Dash, come on, let's go.
They've created a friendship, a bond, huh?
He's a daddy's boy, and yes, yes.
That is
It's
funny.
pretty great. I mean, because I grew up with animals, and we rescued horses, and I kidnapped a horse that was being abused when I was 11, and
That's beautiful.
it's like, I mean, I
How
should
did you
have
do that? Where did you put the horse?
Well, another pasture. But to be fair, I investigated first, and I went to their door, and I asked them. I was like, "What's the deal with the horse?" And they're like, "Oh, our daughter just dumped it here. We don't want it. We just let it run around because there were goats there too. They were goat farmers."
Oh, I
And
like
they
how you're
didn't-
putting on the accent too. Do you do accents?
I try. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
taking on the role of the people. Well,
I,
Dar-
well, when you live in Missouri, like you hear it all the time, so it's not that hard. But yeah, they were just very cold and cold. Like, yeah, she just threw her in here with the goats, and we just let it eat grass and whatnot, and it was skin and bones. So we'd been bringing it food and water, and finally, like, after I found out they didn't want it and they didn't care about it, one night my mom and I, she was 37 when she had me, and she was she's very free spirited, and I had a very lucky upbringing, maybe non-traditional, but she helped me, and we took her. And then we started a not-for-profit, and we took in old unwanted horses that people
Does
were
the
going to
horse
put
still
down.
exist? Is the horse still with you,
Oh
or?
no, she was already old. She was 30 at the time, which is old for a horse, and she lived
Yeah.
another 10 years. But we adopted, like, I had a blind pony that I taught to let me ride him, and he would come when I called and knew right where I was, like he could sense my voice. And yeah, we just took in the misfits, and to this day, that's what I do. I've never bought an animal. Like, it's
Have you
they all
ever
have
had an animal that just came to your doorstep, was
all
just
of them.
there?
The cats. I
That's
have
the
two.
house
My
with
mom
the
has two.
food. That's the house with the warm blanket and the food and the milk. That house right there. They all talk to each other.
They follow. I've been followed home by two of the cats that we had. Like, I I have a possum, 3 years now. She's lived under our deck. I don't want to, because I think they're wild animals and I respect them for being wild. But I
Because there's
rescued her.
possums and opossums, right? There's a
It's the
slight
same.
difference. Are they
I
the
think.
same?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, is the possum friendly or wants to be left alone?
Well, I don't like I said, I don't treat them like, oh, but she was being attacked by two different dogs, and she was younger, and she was playing possum, which they really looked dead, but I knew she
Yeah,
wasn't, because she's like, and so I just
roll over
scooped her up.
Beethoven. Yeah.
Yeah, and I scooped her up and put her to safety twice, and she moved in under the deck. She's still there. I still see her. Her name's Lilith, is what I call her. She
You've
was like
named
a
it.
little one. Yeah.
Have you
And
ever thought of doing anything with the animals? A little show where the animals are involved?
well, when I do my fairy videos, a lot of the times they are anyway, whether I want them to or not. Uh,
Yeah, they just sort of walk into the scene. Okay, I guess you're a part of it. You're playing this role now. It's a
and they
walk on.
do.
It's a walk on part.
It's true. I mean, and they'll have, like, Dashiell has bow ties. He has a snood, which is like a hoodie, like cowl type thing, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so they all have. I don't dress them like in full outfits, but sometimes we'll put stuff on them, and
I wonder also, I was thinking about earlier, do some people confuse fairy with being a medium or being psychic? Do they ever ask you for readings or predictions, or they tie fairy in with some of that thinking? Do you ever have that happen too? I would imagine.
it's interesting because, and I've noticed when I go out in public, it's like people look at me, and then it's like it just, oh, that's a fairy. Nobody questions me. I've no, seriously, anywhere. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just a fairy. I've been pulled over by the cops. I've gotten out of 4 tickets. Like I'll be on my way to the radio show. I'm like, I'm going to work. I got my wings on. And they're like, oh, you're a fairy? I'm like, yeah. I don't even offer anything else. And it's like they just accept that there's a fairy walking around, and and on my like my Twitch stream, people talk to me like I'm a fairy godmother. Honestly, like some
Like
guys,
source of comfort and love and warmth and
right?
truth.
And
Yeah.
like the guys, at first they think they have a crush on me, but they learn real quick that they don't. And then it's more of a just like a comfort thing. And I have
How do
like,
they learn real quick that they don't? What happens?
because I'm, if you're just thumbing through and you see me, I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fair, and they're like, ah.
that's
And
cute.
then
Yeah.
lots of times they come in and try and troll, you know,
Troll
and
the fairy.
but they don't realize that they're messing with somebody who's lost a colon and has no modesty, and nothing embarrasses me. Nothing, like, I will outgross you, I will but I'm not mean, you
Right.
know.
Just
And
effective.
right, and if they're like, you're ugly, I'm like, no, I'm not. I just flat out, I'll just say stuff like,
Exactly.
because
Right.
they don't know what to do. I don't get mad, I don't kick them out, I make them stay. Like, because they want to get kicked out, they want to be bad kids. And my moderators know not to kick them out, and I anti-troll them to death. I'm like, are you upset? What's going on in your life? Let's talk about it. And and they're like, you're old, aren't you embarrassed? You're a grown woman, and I'm like, well, I actually, this is my work outfit.
You're right.
It's like, so no, I'm not really embarrassed. No. And yeah, and I turn trolls into like nice, fun, loyal followers. It's
So
some
you know how to
leave.
turn it around and make it positive.
Yep, and because I literally, if they call me fat, if anything, I just answer their questions. My favorite is, which one's the fairy and which one's the pig, as
Mm.
we stream next to each other. They think they're really original, but they don't realize that that's like the most common one. And so, like, I love it. But I think Dashiell's, handsome. So I like mother likes father.
Dashiell is is Dashiell still sleeping, or did Dashiell wake up?
He's when he's sleeping, he's like, look at those hooves. Like he just like, when he crashes hard. Like, because he's awake, playing outside all day, and then it's time to take a nap.
I just heard a sound. There's like a high pitched whistle. Was that the pig? Was that
He
Dashiell?
he wheezes and snores,
Was
and
that like a yeah? And sleeps looks like with one eye partially open.
well, he's dreaming. He eats in his sleep, so he's like,
Oh,
that REM
yes.
state,
He's
and then
dreaming of his next meal.
like
How
dogs run in their sleep, and he
yes.
eats.
How's Remington doing on the other side? Is Remington still?
Remy. It's been a really hard day for everyone here. Like the cat's in the back. Like, oh, one of them's over there. Like, it's oh, the other one's down by that's a lump of cat. And yes, those
They are
are
all wiped out because when we started, the cat was crawling on you, and they're like,
those
because
are
you
the
said
second win.
usually when they see the lights, they get excited, they want to be on, right?
Well, they know that I'm gonna be sitting in one place for a while, and so that means it's time to swamp mommy.
So
Mommy
they're
can't do
very, I tell you, they're very well behaved. Or
yeah.
are they doing this? Is this unusual for them?
No, streaming time, it's like they know. You know what I mean? But like if it's during the afternoon, they might be. Well, Dashiell, he's ornery. He's not mean, but he's a
Yeah.
baby. He's just great, and he learns things, and they learn. Pigs are very
Yes,
smart.
they're very,
Super
very
smart.
smart.
You only have to show him something once.
That's it.
But like, he learned he could knock over a kitchen chair, and his tail was wagging, and he was like, look at what I did. And so it's like, you can't be mad, but you're like, dang it, I wish he hadn't figured that out. You know? But yeah.
So when you look at all of this fun and again, the story that you're telling is really important. At the same time, I mean, you're taking a serious subject, something you've struggled with, something that you live through, every day of your life in various ways, shapes, and forms, but you put a positive glow and spin on it for the good of everybody else through the experience you have as a professional actress, a SAG-AFTRA performer. So that's somebody who's really put all the time and blood, sweat, and tears in. You've wanted to be a performer, an entertainer, and then you found a story that just happened to happen that you turned into, creativity in a beautiful way. When you look at all of this, what is your hope for all of it? What, on the bucket list as far as other things that you would like to do and other things that you see coming down the pike for you, Brie?
Well, I am a strong believer in creating your own work, rather than waiting around for somebody to, cast you.
Right.
So I wrote my own shows. It's like I will do other people's shows, but I'm not going to sit and wait. And, like I said, I would really love to have a theater company
Yeah.
dedicated just to letting people forget for an hour, just get lost and have fun. I don't, and drama has its place and I respect it and I've done it, but it's heavy, and you can get a message across with humor just as well as you can with beating someone. I call it requiem for a dreaming someone. When you like, if you've ever seen that movie, it's like the most depressing movie ever. Like, it's a good movie, but it's like you come out of there, it's like there is no hope. They take hope and they just like beat it to death. Like, and I feel like if people learn just as well laughing about something and can get a message through that and not leave feeling like, well, gosh, now what? I don't even want dinner, like, so I don't ever want anyone to leave anything I do feeling that way.
Absolutely. I think somebody's crawling behind you there.
Yes, that would be Daisy. Daisy's awake. Hi, Daisy. She's like, because the pig's like down here next to me, and so she can't walk that way. She had to go that way. She's gonna come down and try and circle around. Honestly, if I didn't have to defend my food or my place on the couch, like I don't know what I'd do. I haven't had it in years ever just sat down with nothing.
They all take the spot before you do.
They surround me all the time. Like people will say like, "What is that behind you?" I'm like, "Well, it could be any of them."
Nice
They don't know they're
question in
cats.
from Merlin here. Do you ever do shows at hospitals?
I would love to. And I was looking into trying to do more of that and taking the cast of the larger shows, so it's not just me, because I don't want to like flatter myself and be like, oh yeah, they want to watch her for now, but like having different people, and because I had a lot of people, I was thinking like old age homes too, like assisted living, because I had a lot of older people in my shows and stories from that, and I would love to do that. When I was in the hospital for surgery, I actually brought wings and a wig, and they want you to get up and walk around after surgeries, so I would just be the fairy with my little ivy walking through the halls.
That's cool, and I agree with Bernadette. Nursing homes would be a great place for you to visit. Yeah.
Because I use one of my mom's stories, like, like, and like I said, my age range was 90 to 81. Like I
Yeah.
had all ages. So
Right. Exactly. Well, it's cool stuff that you do, Brie. Really funny and light. It takes us away from the craziness and ridiculousness of life, and everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has something that they go through, whether physically or mentally or financially, spiritually, whatever it is. Everybody, you don't go through life without things you have to deal with. And for you to take, to have the professional experience and then have this understanding of the situation that you deal with the physical, and turn that into something that has humor, attached to it, and makes people laugh, brings in other performers too, and really, puts smiles on people's faces and gets people laughing, and with the dry wit and the humor, and, takes a day that could be crappy and turns it around into something that could be, yeah, exactly. Rex, and it's cool. I think it's great. It's pretty ingenious to do it. And
It's hard, you
yeah,
know.
it's not easy, right? Do you ever have people that aren't responsive to it? They're like, "Oh, how can you make fun of a topic like that?" Or
Right.
I don't want to talk about those things. They're too, it's
The
bathroom
thing
stuff or whatever,
at first, like before they see the show, some people will be really skeptical, and then they'll see it because it's not gross. I don't make it gross. Yes, we're sharing these experiences, but I haven't written it like nasty, you know. So like people's grandmas like it, and it's very universal. And the only negative stuff that I've gotten is like maybe one comment like, I can't believe you're teaching, that it's okay to to admit that kind of thing. Like you should never admit that kind of thing. And that's just sad to me because I'm not going to change that person's mind. Like, there's always, you can never make everyone 100% happy, but I try. And I just say, I said, for me, I mean, I respect your opinion, but I could have chosen to give up because this is a chronic thing. I'm going to have it forever. Or I can just choose to laugh at it and live day to day. And, because other people have stuff too. So I chose just to laugh. And when it happens, it's like, ugh, well, here's another story, and then with the fairy, being the dingbat that I am, the only negative comments I've gotten have been people like that have posted it, like when I did the Waldo one in my Waldo neighborhood group. I made it specifically for us. I had two like older like 50 to 60-year-old men, and they ganged up and they were like, "This girl is so stupid. Can you believe how dumb she is?" And I'm like, really? Like, you've never heard of satire? Like,
That's what it is. It's satire, right?
I know.
Exactly.
They're the people that think Blazing Saddles is like a racist movie. Like
Right. Yeah.
I I'm just like,
They don't
wow,
get the joke. They don't
I'm
get the
dressed
joke.
as a fairy. Like, you really think I'm a dumb fairy? Like, is it in your mind? I'm a
Right.
dumb fairy in real
Right.
life. Like that's
Right. Exactly. Uh,
but that I mean
Crazy. There's all types. The world is filled with all types.
well, and I actually wrote them both private messages. Not mean, but I call them out, and I was just like, I'm sorry if I offended you. I was like, I really just wanted to make people laugh and
Yeah.
do goofy stuff. And I said,
Right.
so, I apologized to you. And then they felt awful, you know, and
So
like wrote back to me.
you turned it around. You turned it around.
Because I think you should call, I mean, don't cause a fight. But, if somebody, tries to hurt you, it's okay to stand up for yourself and not be
Right.
a jerk, because I
Right.
wasn't a jerk,
Exactly.
you know?
Or if you see other people hurt, right? Yeah.
Right.
I don't like that either. That's one of the things that gets me is when I see injustice and I see other people attacked, made fun of, character assassination, and there's so much of that that goes on in our world these days, and that's crazy stuff. I never like that, and I don't do
Yeah.
it, and don't believe in it, and then you should defend. And if that happens, you have every right to,
Well,
because
and
there's
so
so
many
much of
people
that
won't
goes
speak
on.
up for themselves. And I
Right.
don't, like I said, I'm not confrontational, but
No.
I will, look you dead in the eye and
Well, that was cool. No, wait, we gotta have that. That's on.
she was walking across my lap and it's like a shark. Done and done. And she's right here. She's like, since I bottle fed them, they're
She
very
likes
like,
that lipstick.
well, it's that stay on, remember that, like, it doesn't come off for anything, right? She's like, but yeah, I bottle fed them, so they're used to being like, I let them lay up there when they were babies, and they just never grew up. I guess I stunted their growth or something, because they're both like this. But Tucker, he grooms all the other animals, like the pig and the dog and me.
What is she saying to you now? What do you think?
She's like, love me, mommy. It's evening time, so you have to love me. Mwah, mwah. I I don't think any of my animals know that they're animals or that they are a type of animal because they all kind of grew up
They're
together.
like children. They're like part of the family, right?
We're a herd, and like, yeah, the dog walks along the back of the sofa like the cats do because he was younger than the cats, so he learned from the cats. And the pig, I don't even know what the pig thinks. you know, he does love Tucker, and he'll just go and stand by Tucker, the boy cat who washes his ears, and he'll
Yeah.
just gently nuzzle him and make this and
Grunting, sort of that grunting sound, huh?
he loves to lay with Tucker. Like, it's so cute. It's disgustingly cute.
That is funny. That is funny. We're getting some live reactions here. Kathleen Walker in New York City. I love cats. I have 3. Bernadette says, sweet fur baby. Marsha Murphy Watson says, you have a wonderfully funny character and spirit. You have faced the music and won.
I say that. I looked in the death in the face.
Yeah. Merlin says, you are a lovety now. Welcome and praying for you.
Thank you.
Beautiful as well, right? Huh?
I always put out the good juju, you know?
Well, that's what it is. Right. Exactly. And Merlin says she has a lot of fur grandbabies. They keep things interesting, right?
They do. And I mean, that's what, you know, like, my life doesn't feel empty. I don't know if we'll have kids one day or not, but right now these are my babies. So
those are your babies, yeah. Bernadette says she has 2 kitties and a guinea pig.
So it's like, you know, sort of the same, but not really. But
guinea pig is a lot lighter. Yeah. Who lifts Dashiell? Your husband?
Well, Daddy has to. Luckily, we don't have to lift him that often. But he's so strong now. Like, they like to itch, like scratch themselves on things, and they twerk. You know, like they're like they twerk.
Oh, they twerk?
Yes.
Pigs twerk?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And they get really into it too. Like, it feels so good to scratch, and they're just like, you know. But like the coffee table, he can lift it. It's from IKEA, you know, like. He'll just, and so I'm, you know, holding it down. If there are any drinks on it or anything, I'll be like, honey, like an earthquake. So, yeah.
Hide the fine china.
Because I call him Dashiell, the destroyer of worlds, because it's not like he does it maliciously. He just doesn't. So he goes through things. He doesn't see obstacles.
No, it just goes right through it. Doesn't have any sense of like spacing and just another day with Dashiell.
I always wonder, like, if the government's listening in, you know, but they don't have a picture, I wonder what they think during the day when I'm, you know, home alone with the animals and talking to them and stuff, you know.
Well, good thing you don't. Do you have an Alexa there or any of that? Because if they respond to those sounds.
Well, I was wondering, like, we don't have an Alexa, but I was just thinking, like, it would be hysterical because people have, you know, will be like, well, the government's listening, and I'm like, I wonder what they'd think.
They think, are they tying people up? That sounded like that.
Well, and pigs, they don't just oink. If they want something, or even if they're happy or sad, they make these like demonic. It's like, you know, like exorcist noises. You know, it's like fling the holy water. You know, it is. He barks like. I don't know where he learned it, but when he's upset, he's like, I don't know where he like. Just, and I wonder, and then, you know, we have hardwood floors, so trot, 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 you know, and so.
This is an interesting question from Merlin. Do you scratch with a fork?
I haven't. He'd like it though. We've he likes to be brushed and stuff. And I put coconut oil on him because they get dry skin. Yeah. So he smells like a little bit barnyard, you know, like that horsey barnyardy smell. Not poo, just it's a musky barnyard. With coconuts. Tropical barnyard.
Tropical barnyard.
Yeah. He smells the best out of all the animals. People are like, isn't he dirty? Isn't he gross? I'm like, no, pigs are super clean. They won't go to the bathroom.
Actually, that's what I've heard. Yeah, that they are. They are.
He will not go. He never once has, ever.
Like in front of you or any of that other. Yeah.
He won't go in his like from day one. He would just go to the back door. Like, I'm ready to go. I need to go out.
That's it. Yes. We had a cat once that did that. The cat would go upstairs to where the little kitty condo was. The kitty condo was where the kitty litter was, the box, but it had one of those sort of things over it and the hole. So he went into the hole and then did his thing. And then as soon as you heard the final, you know, scraping of the kitty litter, would dive out of that straight down the stairs as if I had nothing to do with it. That wasn't me. You didn't see a thing.
Don't go in there. Somebody left something. It was just bad. Like,
And the cat was a black cat with yellow eyes, aptly named Pompous.
nice.
Perfect name.
Like, well, one of my stories in my show, I was desperate and I had to use the litter box once. I told you, like I literally,
You probably know where all the best rest stops are, and you have a map. Like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll get you there. I know where it is. It's 2 exits over, 3 streets on the left.
the first thing I do when I want anywhere, I mean, nice to meet you, good to know you. Where's your bathroom? I don't need it now, but I might in a little bit. You know, like,
Trains too. When you're on trains,
and
but
planes.
planes are tough because there's one and there's always a line.
And if there's turbulence and it says like the seatbelt signs on, and I'm like, do I risk it? Do I risk it? You know, like. But I mean, sometimes
It's the whole thing, right? You can write a book on it all. But wait, she did a show.
If I ever write memoirs, I'm going to call it One Flew Over the Poo-Poo's Nest.
Right.
Because with the fairy and the, you know, it's
exactly.
combined.
So if folks want to see any of it, where can they go? See any of the clips or anything?
I don't have, I was actually that was gonna be one of my projects during COVID, because it's adapted. I adapt the one woman show because I change. So I'll switch things in and out. But
so you're working on things now.
Like,
is there a website or anything?
I know Kansas City Fringe has clips on their site and stuff. And then and on YouTube and that sort of thing, because they would do snippets and, you know.
And you're on Twitch.
Yeah, and I'm on Twitch. And so I was thinking about maybe doing a project, and I do silly things on TikTok sometimes.
Now, are you on Twitch as SB the Every Fairy?
I'm all my social media. I changed. It's all SB the Every Fairy.
SB the Every Fairy.
Yeah.
Cool. Streamlining it, pun intended.
Yeah. Well, you know, your brand. You gotta keep it.
It's all part of all that now. Absolutely, I know what you're talking about. Well, my friend, this was amazing. Would you believe we've done 2 hours together?
I could talk a lot.
2 hours. I toast you.
Yes. With my sweet tea.
And I did not pick this color on purpose for tonight's episode.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. It was really a pleasure. A lot of fun and levity, great conversation. Plus, of course, you know, underneath it is really an important message. Again, like I was saying earlier, Brie, which is, you know, spectacular. It's one of those, you know, taking lemons and turning them into lemonade stories. And I wish you nothing but continued joy and blessing. And in that vein, before we wrap, what are some of the things that continue to inspire you and give you great blessing and joy? Because I'm sure, even from a physical standpoint, not every day is perfect. You don't feel great every day. That part doesn't always go away necessarily. So what are some of the things that still inspire you and bring you great blessing in your life continually?
Just that, you know, I stared death in the face and I won.
I know.
And which changed my priorities from so much of the stuff, the little stuff we worry about that we think is so important, you know, and to accepting who I am now. Like, I don't love my body. I'm not a Victoria's Secret model. I never will be. But you know what? Now I love my body because it survived. You know, it went through all these surgeries and it's still trucking. It may have a rough day now and then, but it's beautiful because it functions and gets me from A to B. And you know, like, in a way, I'm blessed. I know that sounds weird to have been that sick, but you know, I got to experience living with a bag, like an ostomy bag, so I can speak about that. Like, I just embrace all new experiences, good and bad, and try and learn from them and be as open as I can.
And you've done it beautifully, my friend. You really, really have. And people have certainly responded in a glowing way as well. And they continue to with some of the comments. We'll show a few of them here. Juanita in South Africa says, thanks for a great and entertaining show, Jim and Brie. You are a funny and wonderful person and inspiration. With love from Juanita. And Kathy Short says, this was a great evening of chat. I so enjoyed it. Take care, Brie. She's watching on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Bernadette says, thank you for sharing your stories with us, Brie. Stay safe and stay well, XX. Very beautiful. Merlin says, God bless you, girl. With love from Canada. Christine, cheers, Brie. Thanks for sharing your inspiring or inspirational story with us and making a difference. You are a true lovety. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You know, I told you the lovety was going to come your way on our show.
Well, I'm glad. Right now, that's what makes me happy is trying to make other people happy. You know,
that's what it's all about. That's beautiful stuff. And you know, even Jimmy loves that idea.
Yeah, that's a little creepy. I mean, I wouldn't want to wake up with that in my face, you know.
That's a childhood toy. You do not make fun of my Jimmy.
I mean, he looks cuddly. I want to hug him.
Yeah, he's a cuddly one.
Real bad.
I know. Yeah, see, we can, but and we've got a big panda over there, and it's cool stuff. And Silver, the Silver Lab, I got on a TV shoot in Switzerland. There you go. And I, of course, already showed you George Burns. You love that genie bottle, huh?
I do. Yes. My mom said I was born 30, so mentally I'm 65 because I'm 35 now. So I'm actually 65, and you know, so like I identify more with like older, you know, celebrities and TV
old
shows.
School. You're old school. Old school ways, right? Old school, exactly. I've been always old school too. Thanks, Brie. You're wonderful. From Mary Bishop. Merlin says, high fives. Let's do a high five.
Yeah.
Good stuff. It really was terrific having you on the show. And thanks for being so open and honest and authentic and funny and affable and empathetic. No secrets. No secrets. But for sharing your time with us, 2 hours plus we've chatted here on the show, and it was really terrific. No script needed. No, we just have good conversations, entertainment, all kinds of cool stuff. You never know on this show. Every day is something different. You've got claps coming in from Kathleen in New York City. Actually, you got some peace signs too.
Rad.
A-OK. Yeah, absolutely. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, Brie, and you're welcome back any time you like, and continued joy and blessings to you. And I really appreciate this, and I hope that you'll come back one of these days, and I hope you enjoyed your time with me and us as much as I have with you.
I did. I love meeting new people and making friends. I honestly do. It's nice now. Now I can tease you on, social media and, do a little.
Say, he's as nice as he looks.
Exactly. Because I do
he's
that.
Real.
I torture people nicely,
He doesn't just look nice, but he actually is.
He's not a jerk. Well, George Wentz, like it was a weird thing, but he's like my mentor and still is after all these years. And it's like, George is great. Like, he is Norm from Cheers.
My team says they follow you on the socials.
Oh, yeah. Yay. I'm just wacky. But yeah, like they say never to meet your, idols and, because you'll be disappointed. But, sometimes you have to. So.
Well, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that.
It's like, he's real. Because so many people, I'm real. Oh.
Yeah, no, and they're not. And it turns out really behind the scenes when they take the mask or the facade off, they're not real. Right. And if you're intuitive too, within a few minutes of even less than that, maybe you can really feel that out quickly.
Oh yeah.
When they're not real.
I can tell when it's a fake genuineness.
Right. Exactly. They put it on and it doesn't live up. When you see them in the supermarket, they're nothing. They're like,
who are you?
No personality. They're not funny. And
exactly. Like, what? You don't remember me? What?
You actually don't want my autograph?
Excuse me.
When you did that, the ears wiggled. Marilyn said, enjoyed the show this evening. Thanks, Brie and Jim. Our pleasure. Have you had your dinner yet, or you have to still do that?
I nosh. I eat
Yeah.
small, like so. I'll
Yeah.
have like fourth meal today.
Yeah. Right. Just, they say that's actually the better way to eat than to eat a big heavy meal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
So
adjust? You'll probably adjust for the holidays too when there's all this food around, right?
I eat when I want to eat, and I mean I
Right.
don't like gorge, but
Right. Right.
I just eat a little here, eat a little there, and
That's it. Yeah. Good
it
stuff.
works. Yeah.
That's it. You got to do you. You got to do you.
Yeah.
Well, this was really fantastic, my friend. And stay in touch. Keep us posted on everything. Everybody had a
Yeah.
great time tonight, all the viewers, the lovities. And we wish you well. And thanks for gracing our show this evening. And you keep being you, Brie, and
And you
SB the
keep
Every
being
Fairy.
you. That's
Thank you.
important. Because what Oscar Wilde, because everybody else is already taken.
Yes,
You be
that's
you.
right. Do you, because everybody else has been taken. Exactly. This has been an amazing evening. Thank you, Brie and Jim. Our pleasure. Very, very nice. Claps from Marsha Murphy Watson.
Merci.
Funny, levity, comedy, inspiration, all of it rolled into one good evening. Well, you take care, my friend. You be well. You take care of everybody around you that's important in your life. And we hope to chat again real soon. Thanks for stopping by the show tonight.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Mwah.
Wow. You take care. Thanks for being with us, my friend. We'll
Thanks.
see you again, okay?
Bye.
You be well.
You too.
Bye-bye. Amazing, right? Inspiring, funny, adorable, all those great things. Intuitive, empathetic, and great conversation. Loved having her as a guest. I know you guys have enjoyed it as well. Thanks for all the great comments, all the participation. We're a very participatory broadcast or show or program. And it was a lot of fun with you guys tonight. Everybody loved it. George Burns had a cool time. There he is, up close and personal. I know you guys love George. Gilligan had a fantastic time. Lin the Panda is way over on the other side taking a nap. It's been a very busy day here at the home studio. Gilligan says goodnight to you guys as well. Jeannie sleeping in her bottle. We'll find Jeannie here for you because I know you guys love Jeannie. Been here since almost the beginning of the show, Jeannie. Loving you guys. And Jimmy the Clown, who's actually a happy clown, says goodnight as well. There you go. Now, what host does this, right? You got to put smiles on the faces because if you watch the news right now, you'll probably hang yourself. And we don't want that to happen. So there you go. Silver says goodnight as well. And we all say goodnight. Thanks for being with us. I just want to show you an amazing guest we have tomorrow. And it's going to be lots of live music, lots of live performance. We're really excited to welcome this really fantastic artist. This is Bruce Guyon. He is with the band Big Rain, really popular folk, pop, country, rock, you name it. He's going to be here live tomorrow night. He's going to perform live. He's going to entertain. We're going to have great conversation, levity. He is here tomorrow night, which is Friday night, live here. That's going to be awesome. We look forward to that. Then on Saturday, on our YouTube channel, on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We have an incredible artist who's going to be here live at 3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. It's a special early time because he's going to be live from Ireland. And it's going to be 8 p.m. his time. This is a really popular singer, songwriter, musician, really popular, climbing up the charts. He has a new CD out. He's 21 years old. This is Oscar Blue. He's going to be here exclusively on the Jim Masters Show live this Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. in Western European time, which is in Ireland, Scotland, and England. I believe it's 10 p.m. in South Africa, according to Juanita, and it's around 9 p.m. in the Netherlands and Spain and other areas like that, Portugal. And so that's Saturday on the YouTube channel. Don't forget, that's on the YouTube channel. And then on Sunday, we have 2 shows. Also live from Ireland, a really popular singer, songwriter. This is George Hutton. He's very popular. fabulous Irish pop star, lyric tenor, singer-songwriter. He's going to be here live exclusively on the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Make sure you subscribe to it. This is exclusively on YouTube at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, and England. That's this Sunday, George Hutton. I know you guys have been waiting for weeks for George Hutton to be on, and here comes the weekend when he is. So this is really cool because we have tomorrow night, Bruce Guyan from Big Rain YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. He's going to be here live. Check it out tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. We have Oscar Blue live from Ireland. He's going to perform live. We're really excited about that. Then on Sunday, live also from Ireland, we have George Hutton, who's going to be here. These are really popular performers, and we're going to have a lot of Irish crack, as they say. Then after George Hutton is on at 3 p.m. Eastern, we'll probably have dinner, and we'll take a break and dinner. And then in the evening on our YouTube channel for the Jim Masters Show Live, we have former NFL cheerleader from the St. Louis Rams. This is Jennifer Cobb. And Jennifer also has this wonderful organization that finds funding for Parkinson's disease research. And she's brilliant. She's got an inspiring story, just like Brie had this evening. Jennifer has an inspiring story, and she is absolutely spectacular. She is going to be here on Sunday night, live exclusively on the Jim Masters Show Live. Sunday night, that's 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, on our YouTube channel. So make sure you check it out at Jim Masters TV on YouTube. Look for us there. These are exclusively on YouTube. So again, real quick, from Big Rain, we have Bruce Guyan tomorrow performing live. Saturday, we have live and direct from Dublin. We have Oscar Blue. He's amazing. Then on Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, and England, the UK, we have George Hutton on our YouTube channel. Then a bonus Sunday night. We've got another show for you. Boy, we are working the weekend, huh? Former NFL cheerleader Jennifer Cobb is going to be here. She was with the St. Louis Rams. And again, she has an amazing story to share with all of you. So 2 shows, George at 3 and Jennifer at 7 on the YouTube channel. Then Monday, multi-Tony Award winning producer and actress Jamie DeRoy is going to be here. We are very excited to have her here on the show. It's going to be amazing. That is Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on YouTube and Facebook. And then on Tuesday, another fabulous actor. He looks a little bit like Mark Zuckerberg, doesn't he, a little bit? This is John L. Peacock. He's been in so many films and television shows, commercials, and so much more. He's here on Tuesday. And then guess who's with us on Wednesday? We just chatted earlier today. Glenn Scarpelli. Remember Glenn from One Day at a Time on CBS, the sitcom from the 70s that you still see in reruns? He's not only a great actor, and he was a very popular child actor, but he is also a television station owner too. He owns a TV station in Sedona, Arizona. There he is today. Glenn Scarpelli is going to be here, actor Glenn Scarpelli, and he's also a singer too. He's going to be here on Wednesday of next week, which is November 11th. Then coming up in the future, actually a week from this Sunday, is the one and only Phil Coulter, multi-platinum winning record producer, songwriter, and musician, and author. Phil Coulter live from Ireland, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. That is on a week from this Sunday. It's November 15th. Don't miss it. He is a legend. He is a music legend. He's almost, I would say he's like Ireland's David Foster. He's just extraordinary. And he's responsible for so much music. And he's going to be with us when we talk about his new book. He's also going to be at his piano, and he's going to perform live, he said. He's going to perform live at his piano while we're doing the interview and conversation. I don't even call these interviews. They're conversations. and that's really cool. And then also coming up in December, Darren Holden, who of course many of you know, was with the cast of Riverdance. He's a dear friend, known him for years. I've interviewed him on public television. He's with the High Kings, very popular group. They tour the United States, Canada, Europe. Of course, they're not doing that right now because of COVID. However, he is a brilliant singer, songwriter, and musician. He's going to be here in December. We have chefs coming. We've got comedians coming. We've got Emmett O'Hanlon coming in December, on December 11th. He was in Celtic Thunder for a long time, and then he has a brilliant solo career. He just came back to the United States, to the New York area from Germany, because Germany went on lockdown. He's going to be here on the 11th. He's all excited. Keith Harkin is going to be coming as well in December. We've got some amazing people. Tammy McCann, the brilliant singer, is going to be with us as well. Just rolling out, working hard behind the scenes for all of you. Share the YouTube channel. That's where we house all of the episodes of the Jim Masters Show live series that we do every day to the best of our ability, and where it's entertainment, lifestyle, talk show series to the max, and working hard on your behalf. Spread the word. Tell everybody about our series. Love the channels. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, all at Jim Masters TV. And our show is on YouTube at Jim Masters TV as well. Thanks for all the private messages, the love, the comments. We really appreciate that. You guys are absolutely the best. Some of you are here every single day, and we really appreciate that. We have guests coming in from everywhere. Lots of them are friends of mine from television, film, Broadway, Hollywood, people I've interviewed in the past. Some of them are coming in from other friends of mine who represent people. And then there's people who watch our show and they say, I like the vibe. I want to pop on and I want to join you, Jim, and the Lovities. And we appreciate that. If you have a suggestion for a great guest on our series, well, there is the direct email to the show, the email address, jimmasterstv@gmail.com. That's jimmasterstv@gmail.com. You can, and a lot of you have done that. A lot of you have sent suggestions, people that you know that do different things. One of you has suggested a chef who's coming on. We're going to be doing some great food segments and holiday cooking. We have, there's a dear friend of mine who's a cellist who's coming on. We're going to do a holiday concert. We've got a lot of cool things and some singing and a lot of cool stuff that's happening. So there's the address, email address to this show if you have a suggestion for a guest. And those of you who have suggested the guests, and we say hats off and thank you very much. You're all beautiful people and we love all of you. As always, we say relax. Don't forget to breathe, love one another, take care of one another, take care of yourself. As Brie is a true testament to that, take care of yourself. And when you're able to take care of yourself, then you'll have enough stamina, energy, and passion to take care of others. If you're somebody who takes care of others first, make sure you take care of yourself. Even I had to learn that. Brie has had to learn that. And I have to remember to relax myself. We got this in Newport, Rhode Island. It's an old beach scene. It looks like from the 20s or 30s. Really cool. And we thank you for joining us as well. We've got some more comments coming in. And before we do that, of course, we want to show you this. So you got some of the guests, just a teaser with some of the guests that are coming up. We have many more. Don't forget to smile and put a smile on somebody else's face. Don't forget to share the lovity. We try to do that. It may sound sort of Pollyanna, right? Oh, lovity, what's this lovity thing? Hey, you know what? Life is short. Try to be kind, be friendly, have a good time. Stand up for yourself, stand up for others, and share the lovity. We try to do that here. And find your Zen place. Mine is, of course, with loving family and friends. It's also my career in television and radio and all. And cycling, music, writing, and of course, living here on the coast, the East Coast of the United States. The ocean is my spot. Swimming, surfing, kiteboarding, boogie boarding, just sailing it, whatever it may be. Just loving the ocean. Little nippy around this time of the year, but still the sun in the fall setting into the ocean is really amazing. Some nice comments coming in. Let's catch up with everybody before we, hey, Jennifer, you didn't ask our guest whether she liked the ocean or the mountains. That's a good question. She's still here. Let's see. Do you like the ocean or the mountains? Jennifer always needs to know if you like the ocean. What makes you zen? the ocean or the mountains? I'm growing up on the coast, the serenity and tide and natural flow of the ocean for me is that. But how about you?
You know, I've lived by both. 'Cause
You're ambidextrous.
I know. You know, but I was actually, I always thought it would be the ocean, but when I was in Boulder, honestly, the mountains were, I was surprised, but I think I would go mountain.
The Boulder, yeah. I was last year. I was in Red Rocks. I was at Red
Uh-huh.
Rocks, and we were doing a TV shoot. Red Rocks is really beautiful too,
Oh,
huh?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So mountain for you, huh?
I think so.
All right. Jen is Zen in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is a popular place in the news right about now.
Yes, it is.
Jennifer, you got your answer. Jen is now Zen in Allentown. She likes the mountains. Jennifer likes the mountains too. She calls herself a mountain woman. So most people, most of the guests or some of the viewers have said ocean. And I think
I thought I would be, like, before I lived by both, you
look,
know.
she chimed in, Jennifer Barry. Hey, see, I got that question and even before you did, Jennifer. But I know, Jen, you haven't been feeling well lately, so I wanted to get that in there on your behalf. Hey, Brie, awesome mountains. Jen is Zen. She's now Zen. And more love before you go again. Go again. There is something to that.
Trust me.
On this episode, that has a double meaning. Brie, you're a breath of fresh air. Love the conversation. Be well and stay as sweet as you are. All the best. From wonderful Tess, who is a beautiful person inside and out. And she heard that I love cookies and I love Christmas, and I come from a family of cooks and bakers and all, and they do, my mother still with the amazing Christmas cookies of all different kinds. And what happens, I get a shipment at my our P.O. box, and inside is 2 dozen freshly made chunky chocolate chip cookies from Florida. Look at your face.
And that, like,
That face says it all. That face says it all.
Chocolate and cheese. I'm good, you know.
Oh, cheese.
And I am a fine cheese, you know.
Well,
Brie. Je m'appelle Brie.
That's right, Brie. That's right. The cheese, yeah. Sometimes I'll just, take it out of the package and just have it. I think Trader Joe's has this light Alpine Swiss, and is it really good? Cheese I like, and sometimes I'll just even take a spoon, and if I'm not too hungry, but I'm a little bit hungry, and maybe yes, scoop the peanut butter, one scoop, dab will do you or whatever.
And Nutella.
Nutella's very popular.
A friend of mine does that.
Then the scoops with the Nutella.
I've done it.
A friend, yeah, that friend, that fictitious friend. Yes. And, we're going to be doing a Lovity cruise too. We're actually going to be going on a cruise. We're still working on the details, a Lovity cruise with a lot of these viewers and so maybe we'll have you come and join us on the Lovity cruise.
I'll entertain you. I'm learning the ukulele.
Right, exactly. And there's bathrooms on every floor. I mean, that's a cruise ship is like heaven for that.
If it's a boat, emergencies, sides, free,
That's it. If anybody asks you, where is the lavatory? Right there, madam. Let me show you. That's funny. Kathleen says, good night, everyone, and have a great night. Marilyn says, good night, Jim and all. I brought you back on. You were just there.
And I was just listening. I'm being polite. Isn't that the etiquette? Like, you listen to the rest of the show. You don't just leave.
Oh my God, I've got more cookies coming from Tesla Bella. Ooh, Jennifer likes sharp cheddar cheese. Yum. What kind of cheese do you like?
I like, the only cheese I don't like is Roquefort.
Roquefort, yeah.
It's just a little too much.
Yeah. You like blue cheese?
I like in amounts, but like I love the stinky butt cheese, like Camembert and Brie, and the rindy cheeses, and I like cheddar and
good.
I love all of the cheeses.
I love all of the cheeses. Well, my friend, Once again, thanks for being
Yes.
with us. It was a pleasure. You were the best. And class dismissed. You can.
No, I was just, it's just etiquette to me because, I was just,
You
supporting
were
it.
raised right. You were raised well.
Crazy, but well. Like,
Right. And I'm a gentleman. I'm one of the rare gentlemen that are left. So I'll hold the door if you want me to hold the door. Absolutely.
thank you.
I
Sorry, that's a
know.
pet
I
peeve
know.
of
That's a
mine.
dying art, right?
Pet peeve of mine.
I was with somebody once I held the door and then the person said, "What do you think? I can't hold it. I can't open it myself." I said, "That's actually not what I was thinking and
I
not
hold the
why."
door.
No. Yeah.
I look behind me and make sure. Sorry, it's just a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah. Good night, lovelies. Brie, great show. Good night, Jim from Danilo. Wonderful Danilo. We love you, Danilo. In San Diego. San Diego. I got to get back to San Diego. I love San Diego. Everybody wants to go on the Lovity Cruise. So maybe we'll have you come on the Lovity Cruise. That would be fantastic. Tess says good night and all the Lovities. Of course, nobody's cruising right now, but probably maybe later 2021 or something. Christine says, see, now we've got them on food. They love food. Brie like Brie cheese. That's a good thing. That sounds like a bumper sticker.
That's how you
Write
do
that down.
in France. Like, I was like, my name's Brie, like the cheese. That's what I'd say.
That's right. Exactly. So if somebody cuts in front of you in line, does your husband say, please don't cut the cheese?
It's like, you don't. I'm also the big cheese, like.
Oh, you're the big cheese.
My
Well,
LLC is a slice of Brie LLC.
I like that. That was a cool laugh. It had a little Phyllis Diller to it.
That's my cackle. That's my cackle.
It's the cackle. Keep that cackle. All right, my friend. This is just so you know, this show is the show where we all have a heck of a time trying to say goodbye. So this is like a second wind of goodbye, but we will say it so you can be released. And it was a gift having you on the show tonight.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
You take care. You be well. And
you as well.
We shall see you again. And one last comment coming in from the rear.
I can get behind that.
See, folks, we're just getting warmed up. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting warmed up. Good night, Jim, Brie, and all the lovelies. Rest well, stay strong. You too, you too. Good night, Jim and Brie and lovelies. Lovely cruise next year. Allison, love seeing you both laugh. Thank you, Allison. You gotta laugh, especially now. You gotta laugh. Just be happy. Be happy. Snap, snap, crackle, and pop. I wonder what. I'll toss that to you.
Actually, my body makes all those noises throughout the day. Like, it's just stand up, crack, snap. I'm 65 in a 35-year-old's body. So.
That's what happens. That's what happens. Absolutely. But you're also Allentown, Pennsylvania, reporting in live. I'm under the covers. Glad Jim caught me. Got to say hi to Brie.
That's how. In my Twitch stream, they listen to me to fall asleep. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
She's happy. She's so ecstatic now that she knows you're a mountain person, so she's happy. And she dances in her living room, though she says she's under the covers. So she loves the Jim Masters Singers and Orchestra and our theme to the open and close of the show. So she's going to be wiggling in her bed to it. She's going to be doing the Jen wiggle. The Jen is Zen wiggle in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
I want a theme like the Flash Gordon theme. That's Queen.
Right, exactly. Well, I'm not James. Well, I'm not James Bond, but I'm Masters. James Masters. Uh-oh, you're right. Bed wiggles tonight.
I can't normal dance. I couch dance.
That's cool. Yeah, the head. You can move the head without the rest of the body moving. How do you do that one?
Because I can't normally dance. I admit this freely. So I just move other things that can move.
That's it. with the question mark and the exclamation point. That's it. That's it. Cool, my friend. Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did. Thank
So
you.
did I. More
Thank
to come. More to come. We will see you again soon. Thanks for being with us, Brie.
Au revoir.
All right. You be well, okay?
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. See, that was a bonus. You got the chance to see our very special guest once again. And she was right there, right on cue. All right, lovedies. This is your host, Jim Masters. Thanking you for your time this time till next time. I think we got everything covered here. You got the guest list. Also, look on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Subscribe to it, share it. We would love that. And you can see some of the upcoming guests. Not all of them, but some of them are already there. And on the Facebook page of Jim Masters TV, we usually post as we go along some of the guests in advance as well, so you can see them so you don't miss a thing. If you're on YouTube, click the notification bell so that way there you don't miss anything. And also when you subscribe to the channel, it allows you to be able to comment. You know how you comment on Facebook? Well, on the YouTube channel with the shows that we have, just some of them that are just exclusively on YouTube, you'll be able to click the notification bell to get updates on content on the show or on that channel. But also, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to comment. Plus, we get to see who's subscribed, and we really appreciate that. It means a lot to us. They look at all those numbers at YouTube, so we're trying to build and build and build together. It's a building process. So thanks for all the levity, and got a busy day. I'm going to be in the television studio tomorrow, the real television studio tomorrow, working on a television news segment. It's going to be so nice to be in the studio tomorrow, working with the crew early at 9:30 a.m., hosting a television shoot news segment for an interview that was done in Chicago. So I'll be in the TV studio tomorrow. And then I have a radio show, and then I'll be prepping put the final touches on tomorrow's broadcast, which again is going to be with Bruce, and we look forward to that, and it's going to be fantastic. Bruce Gallion from Big Rain. It's going to be really, really cool. So we'll be in the TV studio working with our professional hat on tomorrow, and then we will see you tomorrow night. YouTube, Jim Masters TV. You too, Kathleen. You be well. Love you guys. Thanks for being with us, and we always have lots of smiles. We always have a good time on this show, don't we? We just let it roll. We just let it roll. And we're going to roll our theme right now as Jennifer Barry is in Allentown getting ready to do her bed wiggles to our theme song. So one more toast to all of you. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, for all of your time and attention. Thanks for sharing the evening with us, or the morning or the day, whatever time this happens to be all around the world. Tell your friends and colleagues and family about our show so more people can enjoy our efforts and the Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series we present to you just about daily. All right, gang. Love you all. You take care. You be well. Don't let anything get you down. Don't let anybody get you down. And don't let any situations in life get you down. Life is crazy, extra crazy right now. Keep smiling. Keep being you. We're here to put some smiles on your face every day with entertainment, inspiring conversation, and a whole host of other features that we do, and interaction with all of you. And that's an important part of the show, is the viewer interaction, which I love, and which is one of the reasons why we created this show. So you have a pleasant day or evening wherever you are, if you're watching live or in the archives. Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, we appreciate you being here. We'll see you at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on the Jim Masters Show live, and we can't wait. Great show coming up tomorrow as well. All right, you be well. Cheers to you, Slancha, and all the rest. I knew another comment would come in. Thanks, Jim and Brie. You got it. Ciao and cheers and slancha. Avida Zane. Absolutely. Good stuff, gang. You were on fire tonight. We love that. We will see you tomorrow. All right. Good night. Thanks for being with us. This is the official goodbye now. We're not coming back. We'll be back tomorrow. All right. See you later. You want some of this? I'm going to talk about food, and you guys will want me on for another hour. We're not going to do that. We're going to rest the rest of our evening, and we're going to have a pleasant evening, and I hope you do as well. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.